Niezwykła gra dla całej rodziny. Pomóż kucharzowi obsłużyć wszystkich gości. Rzucaj kostką i stawiaj na tacy kolejne dania. Ostrożnie, uważaj, by nie przewrócić kucharza. Kto go przewróci, odpada z gry. Wygrywa najzręczniejszy. Gra zręcznościowa Szalony Kucharz. Tylko od Interkobo. Jeszcze więcej zabawy z grą Kolorowe Pszczółki.
It's the Hands Down Championship. If you've got the fastest hands around, you can be a winner at Hands Down. Hands Down, the fast action game. If your numbers match, be the first to slam down your head. But look out for the bluff.
If you've got the fastest hands around, we've got a game you can all hands down.
Hands Down from Milton Bradley.
Hey, Mr. Beaver, why are you beavering around? Haven't you heard of Cadbury's Caramel? See, as the thick Cadbury's milk chocolate melts with that dreamy caramel, you just have to take things really easy. Looks like somebody else could do with some. Take it easy with Cadbury's Caramel.
Turn on your light, and they'll see you. You make a sound, and they'll hear you. If you think it's scary being lost, just wait till you're found. Silent Hill 3, rated M for mature, from Konami.
In the 90s, we're discovering revolutionary truths about our inner selves.
Nature is the source of my strength. I just want to be loved.
Man, this blows. Geez, what a bunch of tools.
Get ready to play the world's #1 game system with Walker's, Britain's #1 crisps. We're giving away 5 Nintendo action sets every day for 84 days.
Awesome!
Control deck, 2 controllers, light-sensitive zapper gun, and a double game pack.
Radical!
Plus, choose from 5 great bonus games. Tokens on packets of Walker's crisps, bits of pizza, French fries, Papadums, and snaps. Test your super sensory skills with these wicked Nintendo games.
Way to go!
But remember, dudes, first you have to play to win. Go to it!
Munchkins, they're always hanging around for McVitie's Jaffa cakes. They're driven round the twist by the light sponge, dark chocolate and smashing Jaffa orangey bits. But I know how to bring them down to earth. I won't let the Munchkins munch your McVitie's Jaffa cakes.
Oh, I think that's enough for that. How we all doing, peeps? We all good? We all good? We're here to chat about the Amico. The Amico once again, peeps. So we got a couple of people going to hopefully be joining us tonight. They're not here yet. It's later for us in the UK, but still early over in the States. So I think they're on their way back from home from work. So when they join in, they join in. I do see old... who we got in the chat here? Let's have a look. Oh, we got Tommy Amico. We got Smash JT, Mike Towns, Mike Drop. Love the name, mate. Love the name. Chev Matic, good to see you here, my friend. John Rogers, Andy Norton. TV's Mr. Nil. Tommy is joining DJ Slopes. Is he really? How you doing, Grizzly? Good to see you here, buddy. Raina. The scandal that never seems to end, she says. Well, I mean, news has definitely slowed down. That's hence why I even made the video in the first place, yeah? I mean, it was getting to a point where news had dropped down. You was only getting a few really noteworthy things to talk about almost a year. I mean, obviously, if you went digging, you could find more, but the real important stuff, there wasn't that much towards the end. So I decided, let's play some music in the background. There we go. A little bit of background noise. Is that all right? It's not too loud for you, is it? A little bit of noise in the background. Alvarado is finally going to join like he does on other chats. Well, I mean, I get I think he's seen my video. He seems like a guy that's, I don't know, like, he seems nice enough. You know what I mean? It's just unfortunate he's attached to such an awkward project. It really is. No, and let's not beat around the bush here, guys. I still want, to this day, I still want the Amico. I would love it if we lived in a world where the Amico was a success. You know what I mean? It wouldn't be as good for my bottom line, because the Amico scandal video did pretty well. I'm not going to lie, but like, I mean, I was supporting it in the early days. I'd much rather continue supporting it and it be a success. But unfortunately, that's not the way the cookie crumbles. You know what I mean? Let's see who we got. GV Tech. You got your popcorn ready? Well, this may be a fairly lengthy stream, but it also may be a stream that's done and dusted in 30 minutes after some of the other guys get here. Because, I mean, I've got some notes on things I want to be looking up on this stream. Checking out your channel there, Smash JT, a little bit, buddy. You know, just what else has been talked about? Because he's normally on the case. There's a few good eggs out there to be following. Yeah. So that's one of the channels. One of the channels. Yeah. So yeah. I wish we all lived in a world where the Nintendo PS5 Pro is being leaked. Yeah. Well, I don't think there's going to be a Nintendo PlayStation. They had their chance, Nintendo. They had their chance. The Amico coverage has been great. Thanks, Dan. Well, thank you. And you know what? Let me just put this out there, right? I am someone that's, you know, like everyone out there with a YouTube channel. Well, 99% of the people out there that have YouTube channels. Hello, Geek Getaway. Why aren't you on the call, buddy? Why aren't you on the call? I'm fascinated by the Intellivision Amico, but I do not do the homework that some of these people like Smash JT, Geek Getaway, definitely, Tommy Amico. There's loads of people in here. I believe I saw, who did I say? Sweet and Tender Hooligan. You know, these people are, I hope they don't mind me saying it. I'm sure they're okay with it. Tommy Amico. These are the people that are obsessed. These are the people that are obsessed with it. So even though I'm pretty, I'd like to think I'm pretty up to date with it, it's these guys that are obsessed. So if you want the to the minute updates, to the absolute minute, then there's some of the channels that you need to go to. Some of, not all of, there are definitely some other ones out there. What's the big one that I'm a really big fan of? I can't think of the name. God, it's completely gone. Oh, Goose, of course. Gatoroo's big help for the video in general. Always very much up to date on it. I remember Kev Triss was a big help as well. Oh, of course, Ninja Kitty. Sorry, mate, it's taken so long to say your name. Yeah, so there's some good names out there. Good channels. You know, definitely worth checking out. Right, loved your interview on the Retro Hour, Dan. Appreciated your honesty about the whole thing with Tommy. Yeah. That just came out of nowhere. So for people out there that haven't listened to that interview, what he's talking about there is I say that what do I say? I say Tommy. I can't remember how I got to this point, but I was explaining it all about, you know, like that I was more into it in the earlier days, and obviously, I mean, I am still into it, but I was more of a supporter in the early days. And I explained how Tommy Tallarico, and I used these words. I said he groomed me, and I mean, it's true. It's true. You know what I mean? It's true. Anyway, you need to be messaging me, Geek Getaway. What's going on? You're in this chat, but you're not in the chat on Discord, mate. And then we can get on it. YouTube does not have next lines, lol. But what I was wondering about is it an ongoing stuff for a couple of years, so it's just a massive scam? But want to point out, is it just a cash and run? It's not just a cash and run. Sorry, mate, I'm not getting you there. You're on your way home. That's cool, Geek Getaway. Well, look, we can start this, and you can join in because you're going to be able to help me fill in a few links there. I have put this feeler out to a few other people that I originally spoke to. So if any of you guys want to join, like Joey or Ninja Kitty or Gatoroos, let me know. Happy to have you guys in. More than happy. Give you guys some shout outs, all that jazz. But let's move over to this screen here. Here we are. Let's start it. So I've updated the a couple of things that have happened since I've created the video. And my video technically ends on when oh, there it is right there. When the Roblox Oof video came out, the infamous H Bomber Guy video. So that's where my video ends, and obviously his video starts. So that's where my video ends. I think I've got it. Where are we? There it is. And I've put that date as the 17th of November, 2022. Okay. You're bored shitless. Well, I'm sorry. Dan Miko. Oh, yeah, I might need to change my name to Dan Miko. So as you can see on here, I've got a couple of little things that I've written since then. After this, we've got 19th of February, more info. Representative from Pico Interactive showed interest in purchasing some or all of the Intellivision IPs, but was unable to do so as Intellivision claimed to be $500,000 in debt after the death of Keith Robinson. You remember Keith Robinson? He was the original OG man in charge over at Intellivision before his sad passing, and where Tommy Tallarico pitched his idea for the Intellivision Amico system at his life celebration. He doesn't like to call it a funeral because it wasn't like that. Yeah, that was something that... So basically, after I created this video, I had quite a lot of people reach out to me. One of those people was Pico Interactive. I've worked with Pico Interactive before. I've got a fair few Pico Interactive games on my shelf somewhere. Oh, they're all the way up there. I can't reach them. Is that the only one I've got near me? There's more, I'm sure. Either way, good company. Really good company. And you may see a little something from me on something they're releasing soon, actually. Anyway. Yeah, and that the guy over at Pico actually explained how he was looking to purchase the IP of Intellivision, but the price was just so goddamn high because they were already in debt. So it wasn't a good... Basically, it was just something that we didn't know before making this video. It just shows a bit more information on what it was like for the people over at Amico, Intellivision before Tommy Tallarico came in and bought the shares that made him a CEO. So yeah, there we go. Geek Getaway reckons he's got a scoop. Nice. Digital Grave Robin. No, look, like, I had to put it in the video that he... it wasn't good. But he obviously didn't see anything wrong in pitching a video game console to a company at the CEO's funeral. I mean, it's hard for me to defend him in that sense, but it's not good, is it? Let's be honest. Oh my god. I hope Sony buys them. Look, Michael Towns, mate, no one needs to buy him. I mean, no. I just need to put in here, I just thought about something else. The Atari 2600 Plus, that's something that's just been announced. Worth adding to the timeline, if you ask me. Ah, Mr. PM Ferrer, what's going on? We are talking about everything that's happened with the Intellivision Amico since since the 17th of November, which is when the timeline ends on my video. So we're just finding what all of the latest updates are. Let's try and keep the conversation calm. Let's listen to each other. And I'm not just talking to PM Ferrer here. Everyone in the chat, let's give PM Ferrer time to talk. And PM Ferrer, please do let everybody else talk as well. This isn't a fight. We're just relaying the facts. So, yeah, that's what's happened on that came in on the 19th of February, even though that was something that happened a lot earlier on in the timeline, like before even Tommy Tallarico came on the scene. That was something that's worth pointing out because I didn't find it out until after the video. Yeah, we got that. I can't pronounce Bochi Ball. Bok Ball. Bochi Ball. 31st of July 2019. I've got a correction there. At this point, I show a selection of censored German games. However, thanks to user, and I've put the user's name there, I've been informed that several of these games shown were not censored in that region, those being Witcher 2, Final Fantasy, what's that, 13, 15, something like that, Moonwalker, and Bionic Commando. Let's get into the more information stuff. More info on the ArgCast podcast. This is the 30th of August 2019. He claims that Boogerman is on his list, and he also states that the Karma game engine is just some shit we made up. And that's the Argos Mini number 29 Intellivision Amico with Tommy Tallarico, Candice Shane. So yeah, that's something that I missed in all of my research. He officially stated, words came out of his mouth, that is a direct quote from Tommy Tallarico himself. Where was it I said that? Yeah, the Karma gaming engine, quote, just some shit we made up, end quote. So there you go. And on my massive list of games that all show that play right near the end of the video, if I turn the volume down there, let's get to it. There they are. All the games. One of those games that shows off there is Boogerman that I missed. There you go. Boogerman. I like a bit of Boogerman. I thought Boogerman was all right. It was a better designed game than actually, as in the design of the character was better than the actual game design itself. But hey ho, I can see potential for a future Boogerman game. But yeah, check your. Oh, here we go. I'm there in spirit. It says Gatorays. Well, thank you very much. I'm home, says the Geek Getaway. So let's ring him up. Let's get him in on the call. Hopefully everyone will be able to hear you in 1 sec. Hello. Hello.
Give me 1 second. I had to mute the.
YouTube. There he is. You alright, buddy?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Good to see you here. Let me turn down the music just a little bit, make sure everyone can hear you. Is the audio okay for the Geek Getaway, everybody? We'll see what everyone says. But yeah, cheers for coming on, buddy.
No problem, no problem.
I know you like.
So what are we talking about? We talking about the Amico or something?
Yes, check. Why not talk about the Amico, eh? Let's see what's going on with that. Since what is it, like 17th of November or whenever it was. Yeah. As I was saying earlier, you're one of the channels that follows this way closer than I do. Way closer than I do. And for people out there that don't know, the Geek Getaway plus several others were the people that were fact checking some of the stuff that I relayed and were bringing other facts to the table that I missed. Yeah, so I think it's fair to say you're one of the people I should definitely be adding in on this call. So yeah. Well, you could,
not only did I bring facts, Dan, I brought facts and I brought in speculation that you were like, we're not putting this in the video at all.
Yeah, that's true.
Crazy talk, Tony.
It's true. So basically, I'll explain that as well. I didn't want to attack. I know it might sound crazy after watching a 4-hour documentary where it's mostly just bashing Tommy Tallarico. But unfortunately, I mean, Tommy Tallarico put his heart and soul and everything else into this system. And therefore, when the system was a scam, obviously his name's going to come up for the majority of a 4-hour video. But my aim was never to attack him personally. I was just relaying the facts. That's why when people talk about the fact that they don't think he's playing his guitar live in in his video game live stuff, I mean, that's not good, but that's nothing to do with the Amico in my opinion. You know, the Roblox Oof video, the Incredible H Bomber Guy video, I would say 70% of that is more talking about Tommy Tallarico as a character instead of the Amico itself. That's fine. That's his thing. I was just aiming at the Amico. So a lot of the stuff that was brought to me, I was like, wow, I found that interesting. That was, you know, good stuff that people like yourself and others brought to the attention. But I didn't want to add everything in there because I wanted to, you know what I mean? I think I made the right choice there as well.
For the most part, I would say.
For the most part. I remember you did I think you did 4 videos reacting to my video.
Yeah. I'm long-winded in case anyone hasn't seen my channel or heard me. We could take a 4-minute video and turn it into a 5-hour live stream.
Oh yes, Especially when it comes down to anything Amico.
Yeah. Well, because everything needs, there's so much context. You can't just be like, well, that's wrong, and then just move on. I got to be like, well, here's all these 17 hours worth of context that I can give you for this one misstatement.
Absolutely, absolutely. And what was the name I gave you in the video? Was it like the king of the haters? Was it?
The leader of the gaming racists.
Leader of the gaming racists. That's it. That's it. I think that should be on your, I don't know, birth certificate, business card. Get it everywhere. Get it everywhere.
What should be on my business cards is CEO of Intellivision, because I won that bet. Tommy Tallarico owes me the company.
Yeah, do you guys remember that part of the video? It was such a stupid thing. It was never going to go anywhere, but it was bad on his part for even getting so wound up that he would put that bet down in the first place.
Well, the part of it that you didn't really cover, and I explained it in our like 12-hour watch along, was that it wasn't just like he said it and then like months later, like, no, he kept bringing it up like over the course of 6 months. It was an ongoing thing between me and Tommy.
It wasn't something like you bring up once. Shit, I shouldn't have said that. In the spur of the moment, I shouldn't have said that. But then it carried on for months and months and months. The goalpost constantly getting moved along. Big time, big time. Right, let's go through some things there. So I don't know what you listened to, what I was just talking about there, but we talked about the Ardcast, one of the many interviews that I probably missed because there were fucking hundreds. He talks on there about the fact that Boogerman was something that was on his list, so I could have got that on the list. I missed that one. He also, the more important thing from that interview is that he said that it was just some shit we made up regarding to the Karma game engine. That's something that I've already got there on the update. That was the 30th of August 2019. On the 5th of April 2020, I've got some more info. At the time of recording this interview with Tony TGD, the channel had less than 100 subscribers. The 5th of August. I think we're talking about that young kid. I think that was right, wasn't it? Everyone, it was quite an impactful moment in the 4-hour documentary video, whatever you want to call it. Where he requested an interview with a 14-year-old lad or something like that.
Yeah, it was crazy. What was even crazier is a lot of people don't know this, but the young kid he interviewed, he had a friend that also did a video about the Intellivision, and Tommy commented on that video too.
Well, we're talking like another 15-year-old lad or something.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like another kid, because they're like, "Oh, this is stupid," because it's old people stuff, blah blah blah. Like it's like a real young kid just saying like young kid stuff, and Tommy still felt the need to like get in there.
He actually commented on the video as well.
Yeah, and when you were talking about the Karma game engine, I don't know if you mentioned it in the video, but there was one point when John Alvarado came into someone's comment section and basically said, "Oh, it was never a game engine. It was just a way of thinking about making games, and it never was an actual physical engine."
It was a patent pending way of thinking.
Yeah.
Because so we were talking in Amico speak here, because obviously we know it very well. Tony more than me, but yeah. This was something that was patent pending for people that don't remember that part of the 4-hour video. They claim that this is a patent pending thing. Didn't we find the fact that the patent pending, that he actually did try and patent pend it, or someone at Amico did, Intellivision did try and patent pen this Karma game engine, and it didn't go through? Am I right? Am I making that up?
It was part of a giant. It was like a huge patent omnibus that they sent in for like all kind of stuff.
Right.
Regarding Amico, and that was one of the things in there.
Right, yeah, exactly. So it didn't go anywhere, and then it was also, like I say, announced in that interview that I talked about earlier that I missed, but also Tony says there it was in another live stream where John Alvarado said it was more of a way of thinking. All right, how are you going to patent pen the way of thinking? What's going on?
Yeah. Well, it's more important than that though, Slopes, because they got part of their grant from the Bavarian government was on the basis of a patented Karma gaming engine.
Wow. Okay.
The what was it? FFF Bayern.
Yeah.
Which just happened to have ties to Hans Ippisch, who was the European president of Intellivision at the time.
I'm just making a note here. See, I'll give you a little hint. I'll give you a little look into the world of Slope here. This is me saving time in the future, right? Maybe one day my 4-hour-long video will turn into a 6-hour-long video, because now after the videos come out, obviously there's a lot more things happening afterwards, but there's also stuff I've missed, and I can go back and re-edit the video into a much longer video, potentially. I don't know if that'll ever happen, but we'll see. We'll see.
Director's cut.
Yeah, exactly. Needed the Karma gaming engine for it to be legit. And I actually, obviously, one of the other things we're going to be talking about once we get through the stuff I already have, with BBG and the games that they're releasing. Shark, the game I've reviewed on my channel. We'll get to that in the timeline eventually. That actually has the FFF Bayern as part of the, you know, it's in there. It's a special thanks. I think it is in the credits or something like that. So yeah, there you go. There's one of the games that came off the back of that. So on the there we go. Right, 27th of April 2020. More info. Another game was teased on whatever interview happened at the 27th of April 2020. Another game was teased. Calibri in an interview on the Retro Game Living Room channel. So that was yet another game that I missed off the list. Calibri. It's a good game, Calibri. I'd be up for a Calibri sequel or another sequel. There was actually already a few sequels to that game. Not really.
Isn't that the what's his name? The guy from.
Oh God,
Echo?
no! I'm thinking of Intelligent Cube. No, Calibri's the Echo the Dolphin guy, isn't it? Yeah, it's the Hummingbird game.
Yeah.
Yes, no, there isn't sequels to Calibri, but I would be interested in a sequel to Calibri. Have you ever played Calibri? Getaway?
No, I haven't.
No, it's not a good game. I mean, I maybe I need to give it more time, but I played it, and I suppose it's the same as when you start up Echo the Dolphin. You're like, what the fuck do I do? Like, this doesn't make sense. I suppose it's better when you get into it, but I don't know what the hell I was doing in that game. 22nd of June 2021, more info. Sam from Ars Technica did not find the developer portal by Googling it on his own. He discovered it after an unknown user, possibly April, searched via DuckDuckGo, another search engine. This information was then shared in a now deleted Classic Gaming Discord server. So I said in that part of the video about Sam from Ars Technica was the person that was able to find the back end of Amico. Remember, he was one that spilled the beans on the specs of the system. It's just a little bit of clarity, really. It wasn't him that found it originally. He was sent that information, or at least he found that information out by somebody else finding the back end. I think it was they were searching DuckDuckGo, found some pictures that were like, hang on, what's going on here? These are kind of look like blueprints or something to that effect. And then when you clicked it, like, what? This is like the back end portal of getting into everything Amico. And then obviously you remember how that all kicks off after that.
Yeah, not quite. It's close to the story of what happened, but it's not quite.
Do you want to enlighten us?
For accuracy's sake, a user was looking for pictures of the controller because they wanted to see better pictures of the controller, so they used DuckDuckGo to, essentially search Intellivision Amico controllers, and then the image came up that they hadn't seen before, so they clicked it. It wasn't even a drawing; it was a literal just picture from the developer portal. When they clicked on it, it took them to the developer portal, and they're like, "Hey guys, this is the link to the developer portal," and they put it out on the Discord.
Yeah.
And then I, like the good person I was, said, "Hey, we probably shouldn't be spreading this around because this isn't the way to win." Right?
There it is. Everyone thinks he's the leader of the gaming races, but at this point, he was playing fair.
And not only that, I actually reached out to somebody. I'm not going to name names, but I reached out to somebody that was close to Tommy Tallarico and said, "Hey, this game portal is open," and they blew me off. They're like, "Oh, why are you bothering me? We're not friends." I'm like, "Dude, I'm just letting you know to tell Tommy that his developer portal is publicly open and people are looking at it right now." He blew me off, and then I reached out to my inside guy at Intellivision. I was like, "Dude, I don't want to blow my cover, but your developer portal is open. You got to let your guys know."
Wow. Ouch. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. Right. It brings a tear to my eye how insane it is. And it also reminds me, and I don't know if I went into full detail about it, because you were the winner of the shell. I was going to talk about that in the video. But what I don't talk about as much because I wasn't as aware about the in-depth part of the story at the time, but I know we've spoken since then. Just how much Mr. Tallarico didn't want you to have that shell. I mean, obviously, it's going to sting that out of everyone that could have got that shell. So just to remind people of what I'm talking about, Intellivision, very good of them, put up one of the shells for their system as an auction, and the money was going to go to charity, blah, blah, blah. All very nice. Who was the person that won it? Leader of the gaming racist, Mr. the Geek Getaway right here, which obviously did sting for Mr. Tallarico,
I think
as
it
you
more
can all
than
imagine.
stung.
Yeah, so we can all just assume that was it, but there's a bit more to the story about how much he really didn't want to give that to you. Did you want to divulge on that, or?
Yeah, so I win the shell, right? And I figured it's going to be like a week. They got to send it out. It's no big deal, right? So then week goes by, no shell. 2 weeks, no shell. 3 weeks, 4 weeks. I'm like, oh my God, what's going on with this? So I reached out to the, Children's Hospital of Orange County. I reached out to them and I'm like, hey, I haven't gotten this shell. What's going on with this? And so they reached out to Intellivision, and apparently, from what I'm hearing, Tommy was refusing to send it out. That they had to get it from Tommy and put it in a box to ship it out to me. Because they knew who won it. They knew who I was. He was like, you know what? I'm not going to send it to him. I guess they figured that, what was I going to do? Shame a children's hospital charity or like renege on my, money?
You're guessing
Tony
here, but yeah, exactly, yeah.
But here's the other thing that when it was first announced, right? Tommy made a big deal on Atari Age, like a separate. It wasn't even in the main Atari Age post. It wasn't like a separate just for the shell. Like they made, hey, we're doing this charity thing. People were all excited, and then I think it was like the second day, he's like, oh my God, we're the highest item on all of these items. Look, they got all these items from Blizzard, all these items from all these big companies, but our item is going for the most money, and he was really proud. And now, speculation on my part, but I really think Tommy and them had planned it. Whoever won was, they were going to do their typical, we're going to bring them down to the office, and we're going to make this big to-do about the shell.
Right.
All of them. And I think when I won, I just kind of threw a wrench in all that.
Right. Okay. I mean, I can see the idea of why they would do that. I mean, it's a win-win situation. I'm actually kind of doing a similar thing, which I'll talk about a little bit later. Hopefully we'll get a few more people watching, and I've got a big announcement. Nothing to do with the Amico, but just something that's coming that I'm really quite proud of. But
I thought it was going to be the Earthworm Jim posters. Someone finally won them.
Yeah, but no one's got that yet. Is that an update that I don't know about?
No, I was making a joke that maybe.
Right, okay. I was like, what? I've got something I'll bring up in a bit. So yeah, I can see why they would do it. It's win-win all round. They help a charity. They also get the name out of their company. It's a bit of press. It's good for the person that they bring along. If it wasn't you.
Well, it makes sense if you listen to my interview with Nick Richards. They at one point were planning, and this is how crazy this was. But if you listen to my interview with Nick Richards, he says they were planning to buy trucks and retrofit them into Moon Patrol vehicles and drive them down the streets of LA to advertise the Amico.
What, they were going to recreate Moon Patrol trucks?
Yes, they were gonna buy like real trucks and deck them out so they look like the vehicle from the Moon Patrol game, and then have them drive down the streets of LA to advertise the Amico.
Right. Do you know when this happened? When he said this to you?
That was back in my interviews.
Oh, what, with
Nick
in front of the Amico dungeon or the Hater dungeon?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay, I need to check that. I completely missed that. I'll just write Hater dungeon interview. It's just my own notes there. That's crazy. What the hell? Okay. Was that something that Nick Richards was believing himself, or he was just saying, so Tommy wants us to remake these trucks?
I think that's something that they actually considered, because he was like sounded like he was on board with it. Like, yeah, this sounds like a good idea.
Okay. Right. Okay. Wow. Okay. 10th of February 2023, a little bit more info. It's reported that Gatoru's contacted the company and offered to port the games to Steam in exchange for profits going to backers, still asking for a refund. More info is here. That goes to a video. Who's that? Who's doing that video? No Swear Gamer. There you go, No Swear Gamer. Another channel definitely worth looking up if you want up-to-date Amico news. Is he still doing his stuff? I haven't seen a video from him for a while.
I think he just did a video today on the Atari.
Isn't it annoying? Like, you randomly just stop getting notifications. I was checking this stuff out all the time at one point. Anyway, yeah, so that's something that, Gatoru's, someone that actually helped fact check a few things here. Yeah, he, is No Swear Gamer in the actual chat? I think he might be. But anyway, whatever. Gatoru's actually contacted the company to offer to port these games over to Steam in exchange, but obviously he got the response that no, we've got these 6-figure deals going with another company. We've eventually found out, I think we're getting more up to date now, that company, who knows what the deal was, but that company that was buying some of the IPs was BBG. Yeah, there you go. And to give a little bit more insight into that, that was weird for me because I was already working with BBG, and maybe I'm a bit slow, right? Maybe I'm a bit slow. Hey, I'll accept it, yeah? It's so ridiculous. So basically, this is so ridiculous. I was working with BBG and working on a Boulder Dash Complete History, which has now been released on my channel. Very happy with that video. And I remember, right, I need to stop working on the Boulder Dash video because there was no timeline or time frame of me having to finish that. I was like, I need to work on the Amico video. Get it out for December because YouTubers make all their money in December. That's how it works. You get all the big not sponsors, but the adverts that show up on YouTube. They pay YouTube more, so you get more money per 1,000 clicks. So you want to put your best content out in December. Anyway, that isn't how it works. The video took as long as it did. I was never going to rush it. I got it out in February. Blah, what it is. But I remember as I was working through, I was like, BBG, where have I heard that name for? Anyway, carry on with the Amico video, carry on. And I was like, oh, they're the people working with me on the Boulder Dash video. Whoops. But hey, I still made the video. It is what it is. And that's how I was able to get the close relationship with BBG. And that's how I was able to get the Shark review out. And I think you'll probably be seeing an Astro Smash review from me at some point. So yeah, that's what happened there. But before we knew about all of that, Gatoru's was the guy that was offering to port the games over to Steam. That's just something that happened. Shout out to people like No Swear Gamer that was sharing that information. So yeah, oh yeah, there he is, No Swear Gamer. Hey, how you doing, buddy? There he is over on YouTube for people that want to go check out his channel. I suggest you do that thing. I'm going to go click it, so hopefully the algorithm remembers that I like watching his content. Before we carry on, because I think I've got to the end of my list, except for one more update before we start adding to this. Couple of shout outs. Let's give a shout out to Grizzly Crichton, my old podcast host, who's just resubscribed with Prime for 24 months in a row over on Twitch. Thank you very much, buddy. Oh, so sorry to hear that. Is that your daughter or your missus that's got that going on? Hope she's okay either way. And I'm just reading the message you left there, mate. And Chevmatic, thank you for resubscribing for 31 months now, mate. Cheers, buddy. Really, really appreciate it. Right, one final update from me. This was quite a big one that came in after, again, I made the video. I got contacted by this developer. This was quite interesting. So there was no set date for this. I've got no set date. But basically, an indie developer by the name of Happy Cactus Games Limited were offered a set amount of money, don't know exactly how much, plus royalties to port an exclusive version, because everything on the Amico has to be an exclusive version of a game, exclusive version of one of their games called Super Space Towers and A Blast from the Past, onto an Amico system. The following is a direct quote from that company, Happy Cactus Games. So these guys emailed me after I made the video, and yeah, they gave me this information. The Amico connection here was pretty tame. I got contacted by an Italian business guy offering, oh, there we go, 10,000 euros plus royalties, just to nip that in the butt. It wasn't Tommy Tallarico. For us to port our games to Amico, we had to make it exclusive for a period of time and add some Amico controller functionality in a 2-player mode. We downloaded the SDK they provided and started adding support while we waited for a dev kit. We had everything up and running pretty quickly on an Android tablet with the same specs as the Amico. The contract/dev kit/upfront payment never arrived, so we didn't send them the Amico builds we have made. We sent a couple of videos showing our games working. We kept getting contacted asking for full videos and builds with promises of dev kits payment coming soon, but we never shipped them any builds without the contract/payment. For what I can gather, hardly any of the game developers actually got any payment. Yeah, little update for you there. And that I think that was new information for all of us when that one came in. Am I all right? Yeah. And it's quite funny when you actually look at the game itself, and there's a demo of it as well. You can go check out their demo. What was the name of the game again? A Blast from the Past.
Super Space Tower.
Super Space Towers. Let me find it on Steam, and I'll show you this game. This was one of the games that was coming to the Amico that wasn't announced because they didn't pay them the money, and then therefore they didn't send them the final build and blah blah blah. So it never happened. No money.
I don't think that's why it wasn't announced.
Why do you think it wasn't announced?
Because they didn't send them the video they needed. Remember, they in the exchange that you were talking. Remember, they said to send us the videos or whatever, and they.
Oh right, yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah.
So they probably were like, "Hey, yeah, send us videos, and then they're like, "Well, no, send us money." And and they're like, "How can we announce this if we don't get the video?"
Exactly.
Because Tommy was notorious for announcing things and showing video of stuff that we know was never worked on or never intended to be games or.
Mm-hmm. So I mean, as you can see, it's Galaga/Galaxian. Pick your poison. I played it. It's a perfectly fine version of one of those games. If it was a couple of quid, like it is on Steam, I think $4.99, probably on the higher end of what I would pay for a game like this. I've got to be honest. A few quid, hey, that's fine. It's not that bad.
It looks better than anything the Amico.
It probably wouldn't run this well on the Amico. And that's not me taking shots. It just probably wouldn't. You know what I mean?
I'm just saying though, it's got a consistent art style. Everything blends together. It works. It looks classic without being actually an old game.
Yeah.
Whereas everything on the Amico was slapped together. Like Shark looks like 3 different asset builds that they threw together. And
as I said in my interview, my review, I actually thought Shark was all right. I've got, I think it's okay to say, I've got Astro Smash as well. I don't know if I can't show it off yet because I haven't spoken to them for a while, so I don't know if they want me to show this build off, and I'm just being respectful. But I haven't given it enough time to give a proper opinion or review on that one yet. You see in a minute the dial go round. Maybe it doesn't happen in this video, but basically you can see the dial goes round. It tells you how well you did. Does it show you into this level? When I saw it, you can see. Okay, you can see how they've tried to implement the Amico into this game. Is it going to show near the end? Come on, where's the end of this level? God, it goes on a bit. Go back a bit. Okay, well, whatever. You just have to take my word for it. Blast from the Past. It don't look too bad. It looks all right. It was a game that was coming for the Amico. There he is. There he is. Right, we are up to date now with everything that I updated, but we've got a lot more stuff to talk about. So BBG. Do you know the date on when that bad boy went down?
I don't know exactly when it went down, but we do know that in February is when they had filed the trademarks.
Yep. Filed the trademarks. BBG did.
Yeah, for what was it? Astro Smash and Shark in Europe.
Oh yeah.
Right under everyone's nose. No one noticed it.
I know. I know. They were telling me about it, and I wanted to be nice with this company. They were telling me a few things just before it was announced, like that, and I was just like, things are getting shared. Like there was like YouTube videos up on channels and stuff like that with the game, and I'm like, whoa, you gotta be careful. But there you go. Yeah, BBG filed trademark. So people out there that don't remember that part, so we've got Shark and Astro Smash, and obviously their own game Dino Blaster, but that was fair enough. These were all games that were going to be exclusive to the Amico, or at least timed exclusives for the Amico, and now you're going to be getting them on pretty much all the other systems.
Except for PlayStation. What's up with that? You know, since you talked to the BBG guys, how come they excluded PlayStation from their...
I mean, I don't want to put words in their mouth or anything like that, but I get the impression they don't feel like there's there's the market for it on that particular console. I mean, I don't. That's the impression I'm getting. I mean, I honestly think it could still happen, if I'm honest, if there's enough of a cooling out for Shark on the PlayStation. If you know, hey, maybe it's getting announced at Gamescom. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows? It seemed weird because you put it on Xbox.
No, I get it. I remember when I saw it, I was like, "Whoa, no PlayStation." Yeah, it's interesting. I'm sure they have their reasons. Maybe it's more expensive to publish games on that system. I don't know. Was Boulder Dash released on the PlayStation?
I don't think so.
Maybe that's the reason. Hey! My little drum and bass remix there with the Final Fantasy theme. Thank you very much. Who was that? Who was that awesome person that just donated 5? That was Jay Green. Hi, Slope. Hi, Jay Green. Thank you very much for the support, buddy. Very, 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 very much appreciated over on YouTube. Thank you, bud. So that was back in February. BBG filed the trademarks for those games, and you are now seeing those games. So that whole mess of when that was announced, it was done so badly. So let's not forget how the timeline of events happened with that. I knew it was coming. And obviously, BBG knew it was coming. And I don't know if Amico knew... Well, obviously they knew that BBG had it, but I don't know if they knew whether I was making a video about it. Of all people. You know what I mean? I'm not just some random reviewer. I just done a 4-hour video. And I don't like saying the words bashing the company. I think, just relaying facts. Right? However, I've got now a pretty sizable audience on YouTube, you know, around the Amico. So I think it was a good idea for BBG to let me have that game, and I'm very thankful for them for letting me have that game. And yeah, so I announced that I was going to be releasing it. Now, I don't like doing premieres. Premieres are ones where, you know, you see the thumbnail and it's coming in like 3 days or whatever it may be. You know, this video is going to drop in 3 days. I don't really like doing those. I don't see the benefit of doing them from, you know, an algorithm point of view, whatever. However, I wanted to do that because I wanted to grab their attention. And I did because, well, did you want to relay how that went down, Geek Getaway? Do you remember? Do you remember?
I don't. I know you put your thing up there, and
all of a sudden, within 24 hours before I was about to release mine, these people that had Amico test units, or whatever you want to call them, that weren't allowed to release gameplay footage or show off anything, all of a sudden they started releasing Shark videos within 24 hours of me releasing mine, just before, literally hours before I was about to release mine. And I was under an embargo, so I couldn't release mine until a particular time. Fair point. But it was just funny how for years and years and years and years, we haven't been able to see any honest opinion reviews on this. And then all of a sudden, when they see that I'm about to release something, suddenly videos, game reviews, and I remember the email as well got sent out to to backers, or whatever you want to call them, supporters, people on the mailing list. Yeah. It was shady. It didn't really affect me in any way because, without trying to sound too big-headed, my channel is significantly. It's gonna reach a wider audience than the channels they were saying, okay, you can put out a video, go. I mean, and again, that's me. Maybe that didn't happen, but it's hard for me to believe otherwise.
I think they actually helped you in a way.
Oh, I do. But like I said, I'm trying to get like I tried to get their attention, and I personally believe I did. Some people think it was chance that for 5 years they weren't allowed to release video, and then all of a sudden I released a premiere saying I'm releasing a video in 3 days, and they released one in 2. You know, it just I jump between chance, Nah, come on, Dan. It was crazy.
Well, I want to ask you something real quick before I forget, Mr. Slopes.
Go for it.
So you said you have Astro Smash, right? And I know you can't show it off or anything, but hopefully you can answer one really basic question.
If it's about playing it, is it about playing it?
No, it's about the leaderboards.
I can't tell you them. You've, I think you've seen me, or you've been around when I've played it.
Because there was a video showing off not too long ago by DJC or
Right.
Mike.
DJC Game Studios.
And he showed the leaderboard. No, it was Mike. And he showed the leaderboard.
Okay.
And literally, it was only him on the leaderboard. And it was only one score.
Oh, okay.
And there was some contention whether or not the leaderboard functioned where it only showed your highest score. So, like, if you played the game 8 times, it would only show your highest. Or if it would show every single time.
Yeah. That's interesting. I generally don't know. I've not given it any time. I've been so busy working on other projects. The game it might sound crazy to other people, but the game I was most excited for to play was Shark, and I put a serious amount of time in that when I got that. And I haven't been given a date on when I can talk about Astro Smash or anything like that, so I haven't put a lot of time in. I've played less than half an hour. I'd say less than probably 15-20 minutes of Astro Smash. I've really not given it any time at all. So I generally can't answer it. It's not because I am under an embargo, kind of, but also I can't answer it because I don't know. So yeah, there we go. At least with DJC we got proper gameplay footage, says PM Ferreira. I mean, hey, I was playing it on hardware that I think is going to be showing up the Amico. Personally, from what I've seen, like you say, on real hardware there, Mr. PM Ferreira, if I compare what that real hardware was like compared to what I was playing, I would say mine looks better. Sorry.
Also, just a note, we know what hardware DJ Slopes was actually playing on. We have no idea what's inside those units that DJC has.
Well, yeah. We can take a good guess.
So I'm saying it could literally be a Nokia phone, like fucking taped to the bottom of it.
It's probably more powerful than a system that can play Snake. Probably.
It's 50-50 chance.
50-50. There we go. Hey, do you like that? Did you see that on the screen then? You're a little bit delayed. But yeah, that was the bit where I put you. Oh, no, I've gone away from the video. But there we go. Hey, whatever. Right, so there we go. That's what all went down with the BBG thing. I think we've covered that enough now. Now, one thing that suddenly jumped into my mind, I was like, oh, God, yeah, I remember. After the video, I don't think I did it in the video. I'm pretty sure this was afterwards. Atari Creep. Yeah, this was after my video. Atari Creep got an Amico. Yeah.
That was a whole fiasco.
That was. So we'll break it down a little bit more as we go through this. But yeah, so Atari Creep, for people out there that don't know, I've got no ill will against Atari Creep in any way whatsoever. And I don't mean this in any kind of negative way. But he is an incredibly small channel. That's nothing against his personality or anything like that. I'm sure he's a lovely person. But he's a very small channel, and I find it very peculiar. There's very few of these test units out there, whatever you want to call them. And Intellivision decide in all their wisdom that one of the channels they're going to give it to was Atari Creep. Now, oh my God, it's all coming back to me. So, Atari Creep was someone that was falling towards the side of, for lack of a better word, negativity, let's say. He was someone that wasn't feeling this too much. I'm starting to think, hey, maybe, just maybe, the Intellivision isn't what it's, Tommy Tallarico is saying it is. And before he fully went over to the dark side, hey, he's got himself an Intellivision Amico. Now, the way it was announced wasn't great. I'm sure he's a nice enough guy, blah, blah, blah. However, when he got it, he did a little video saying, hey, look, I've got an Intellivision Amico. I'm probably not going to bother showing it to you guys, or something to that effect. And if you do want to see an unboxing, you have to sign up as a YouTube member originally.
Yeah.
Am I getting this wrong in order? I think this is pretty accurate, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, he said he's got one. He talked to Phil. Phil had called him, and they had a discussion, and then he got one, which contradicts earlier, because last year he made a video after Mike and them had got theirs, and he made a video going, "I don't want a test unit because I don't want the scrutiny, and I don't want all the harassment, and if I got a test unit, or I see how everyone's all over them and frothing at the mouth to get any information out of them, because I don't want to be put under that pressure.
Yeah.
So I hope I never get one." Fast forward, now he's on the phone with Phil. He's getting a test unit, and he basically said, "Yeah, I got one. Here it is. I'm not going to do an unboxing." And then he's like, "Well, maybe I will do an unboxing." He goes, "Yeah," because in the video he's like, it's a stream of consciousness almost. He's like, "I'm not going to do one, but then I am." He goes, "You know what? I will, and it'll be under. You'll have to pay, because I know you guys want to see it, so you'll have to pay to see it. If anybody shows that video, because it's going to be a paid video, if you show that video, I'm going to strike you down. I'm going to strike your channel.
Yeah.
Yada yada yada."
Yeah, that's right. That's right. It went in really vicious. And hey, I know, I understand. We all got to earn that money. I get it. But I hopefully it was a bit of a life lesson for him, because it isn't the way to go about doing these things. I'll tell you this now: the hater community, the Amico community as a whole, whether they're on the hardcore side, the supporter side, or the not so supporter side, they're not that. It's not that big of a crowd of people. If all of those people needed to pay £1 to see him unbox an Amico, well, firstly, almost none of them would. And out of the ones that would, he's going to earn himself about 10, 15 quid there. I mean, I can't see it being much more. Because I can only imagine, and it's not just you guys, I'm sure it would happen in any other community, one of them would watch it, and then they would all be able to watch it. You know what I'm saying?
Well, as soon as he said that, people were already threatening to, like, we're gonna buy it and stream it, and there's nothing he can do about it. And if he tries to strike us, we'll
it makes
fight
people
him.
want to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. At worst, he should have said, "I'm going to put it out there. I'll chuck it out for YouTube members for a couple of days before, but I'll make sure it comes out to all you guys, because I know you guys want to see it." It would have gone down so much better, and then that way he would have earned a couple of quid like the way he wanted, but he would have obviously kept the respect of his supporters. But lesson learned. Lesson learned.
Anyway.
Say it again.
I said he ended up putting it out for free anyway.
He did. He did get a lot of backlash, and I think that may have helped persuade him.
Yeah, well, he tried to claim that it was a joke, and he didn't mean it, and you guys took it the wrong way, and you guys are all jerks.
I personally believe that was an opinion he made afterwards, but that's my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong.
Well, I agree with you, because when he said it, if you watch the original video, he goes, "I have a lot of bills to pay, and this would help me pay some of those bills.
Yeah.
By charging you guys to see this." So I don't know what kind of joke. If that's a joke, it's humor that I don't get.
Very well put. Yeah. Agreed. It's humor I don't get either. So that was the first part of that fiasco. But then we also had what was the other bit? Wasn't it down to the fact that the numbers on the back showed that it was fake? I didn't really follow that part of the story too much. So maybe you can enlighten me on that a little bit. I know Smash JT did a video about it. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, well, it has a sticker on it that has the FCC logo.
Right.
But then if you on the FCC logo,
when you find it. Yeah, go on.
When you have an item that has the FCC logo, it has numbers that go to that you could look up in the FCC database to see, the item is in fact complacent. Mm-hmm. So everything's all good, right? Well, the sticker has the logo, but the numbers are all like, it's like XXXX0 or something like. It's a fake number. It's a clearly fake number. It's a clearly fake label.
Right, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Which is not exactly a legal thing to be able to do from an FCC point of view. I'm right in saying, I believe.
Well, it's 100%. You can get fined. The FCC has strict rules on who can use the label.
Yeah.
And how it can be used. Just because they don't want something with a fake label getting out there and then someone getting hurt. Obviously, because it is a federal commission. In fact, that's not the only fake label on the Amico box.
Go on.
Something that I didn't know, and probably a lot of people don't realize before the whole Amico saga. HDMI is actually a brand.
Oh yeah, I knew this. Yeah.
I had no idea. It's the HDMI. It's the thing that connects in the back of your TV, right? It's the HDMI hookup. I didn't realize.
Yeah, a company earns money every time one of those bad boys is slapped onto a device.
Yeah, and so Intellivision actually had a license with HDMI to put it on the box, and then it ran out. They have not, as far as the last time it was checked, renewed it. So the HDMI labels on the boxes and stuff are no good. They're invalid.
Crazy.
Illegally being used.
Yeah. Just making a note there of when that happened. What else could possibly go wrong, eh? Well, it's the saga that never ends. HDMI label out of date. HDMI certificate out of date. And also the FCC label not authorized. So go for that. All added to the list for the future 6-hour-long version of the Amico. Are people definitely up for seeing that?
Yeah. I'm up for seeing it.
Yep. Well, you can make a good 6 videos out of that one.
Hell yeah. Make my money back.
Definitely.
Here's the thing that I never understood about this whole tester thing. And I've never seen any other game. You know, we have huge games coming out all the time. Games are coming out. I've never seen any other company have people making videos going, "Hey, I am testing X game or Y game," right? You know, you didn't see people come out and go, "Hey, I'm testing Tears of the Kingdom, guys," and they make a big video and I can't tell you anything, but I'm one of the testers for Tears of the Kingdom, right? Usually that stuff's kept private.
Majorly.
So it's so weird that they're like, yeah, go out there and tell people you're testing, like to make
It's
to send
so bizarre. You got to get yourself into that mindset. So this company have chosen 3 extremely small channels. Again, that's not a dig at them. That's nothing against their personality or even their content, or, the size of their channel or anything like that. But a multi-million-dollar company and a very recognizable brand within the retro gaming sphere, at least, Intellivision, have decided we're going to choose these 3 channels to send test units out to, and tell people that you've got test units. Even and I know everyone brings up the Evercade, but I think that's probably the Analog as well. You don't get you don't get YouTubers. Actually, maybe Analog you probably would a bit more, but that's more of a community-driven thing there. People like My Life in Gaming and stuff like that. But they get sent these units. No one gets sent these units for. I mean, look at the Mega Drive Mini and stuff like that. It's so weird. It's so strange. Well, I got my machine, my early copies of those devices when they turned into to review units. So bizarre. It really does make me feel like, is this, and I'm not saying it is, but is this them realizing, hey, the ship is like literally completely sunk at this point. Look, you guys supported Amico. Did you want one? Go on, you can have one. You've helped us out. Go on, mate, you have one. I feel like it's more like that.
Say you're testing.
Yeah, exactly. Just say you're testing. Go on, you can have it. I struggle to think of any other reason why they would send one out to a tiny channel, because one, that's not going to get people noticing, because everyone that has an Amico knows about Amico already know about that channel anyway. You're not raising awareness by sending it out to channels like that. It boggles the mind. Absolutely boggles the mind.
And here's the thing. Maybe a lot of people don't know, but obviously the Tommy Amicos and the No Swear Gamers know, but if you follow this close enough, DJC and Mike and even Atari Creep have said things that completely contradict the whole narrative, right? So Atari Creep said he got 0 training on how to test the unit, on how to do any reports, how to fill out, what's going on. Because I've tested games. I have credit on Moby Games, right? Because I've tested a game, and
Right.
they had a form, and they go, here's the thing you fill out, and let me know, and at the end of the day, there's a little survey to do, blah blah blah, to let us know that the game's working and what's going on, and here's how you report a bug, and blah blah blah, right? There's a process. And go, well, Tyler Creep, did they give you any training? He goes, no. Well, then how are you going to test this? How would you even know how?
How do you know what to look for?
Yeah. DJC, he puts out videos. He's like, well, I've never really played this game yet. Like, dude, you've had the thing for 8 months. How are you testing it? And you go, like a week ago, you're like, I haven't really played this game. I've been testing this console for 8 months, but I haven't really played this.
Do you think he's saying that to get people like me and you?
No,
Like, if I had one, I'd play on it. You know what I mean?
No, because I think that he doesn't think when he makes his video. I think he just like says things. Because even when he left a comment, someone asked him about one of the games. He goes, "Well, my family's been over, so I haven't really had a chance to play it."
Sure, that's the perfect time, is it not?
Yeah, that's what everyone was like. What do you mean your family's over for a reunion and you don't have a chance to play? Like, it boggles the mind that you would write that and then, like, yeah, that's a great response. 10 out of 10. Even like I said, Mike showed off a video where it had Astro Smash had 1 high score. 8 months, he's got 1 high score.
Okay, I see why you're asking now. So if I play it and I play it twice and I get 2 high scores, that means that was it Mike Mullis, the you were talking about? Yeah, it means he's only ever played the game once, or somehow it resets, like a really old home computer game that it keeps your high score as long as you keep the system on. Yeah. What I'll say as well with the BBG thing, a couple of things that I noticed. I think it was Gatoroos that picked this up. In gameplay footage that DJC and obviously Mike Mullis released, there was these big yellow lines that would like shoot across the screen. Now I, without getting paid, genuinely did help out here. I genuinely did do some testing. I spotted those in my version as well. I've reached out to them. I've been given a newer version, and sure enough, they are gone. They're gone.
Did they fix that other thing that you told me about?
I don't know what the other thing was. You're going to have to message it to me.
It had to do with the resolution size.
Yes. No, yeah, completely. Yeah. Originally, when it was very in the early days of it being sent over to me, 'cause I've had like several builds of Shark, and I've already had a couple. I may have only had one with Astro Smash. I can't remember. Have I downloaded 2 different versions? I can't remember. There were certain things like in the very early one that was all covered in Amico information, obviously, because it was just a straight port. Hey, we got it working on PC right now, let's fix it. You know what I mean? So little things like that. So certain things with me, I've got an ultra wide screen. The resolution wasn't working correctly, so I would tell them, look, they didn't ask me to do this. I went, oh, the game's work. Just I don't know if you know, by the way, I've got an ultra wide and this shows up like this way. And I went, okay. And then they would fix that thing. So, I'm not a tester. I'm a reviewer, but I am interested in this sort of stuff. So yeah,
Well, that's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had games where I've reviewed them. Like, here's a review copy. And I started playing. They go, hey, I don't know if you knew this, but there's a mistake on this, this dialogue box. Or hey, if you do this, the game breaks. Like, were you aware of this?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, actually, we had no idea. No one's ever did that stupid thing that you just did that broke the game.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, oh, yeah, well.
Yeah, exactly. So there it is. I've suggested other things, whether I won't say in case they do or don't happen, but we'll see. I mean, these are more like not game breaking things or things I found issues with, but I think it would be better if this happened. By the way, that's a good idea, and we'll see if it comes to fruition. But they do seem to be a company that listen.
Dan's going to be in the credits as creative.
I think I might be. I'll be pretty happy about that if that's the case. Although it would be insane out of every game. So I'm going to big myself up here a little bit. The people that made Streets of Rage 4 watched my Streets of Rage complete history before going into development as a team. And when I found out about it, I was like, oh, fuck me, I've made it. That's so cool. It happened when I went up to Sega and I met the people that made the second Choo Choo Rocket game. They said, oh, we all learned about the history of Choo Choo Rocket as a team by watching your Choo Choo Rocket video. I'm like, oh, fuck yeah, thank you. And then I found out it's just happened again very recently with Double Dragon. The people that made Double Dragon, they had a lot of younger devs working on it, and they said we needed to teach them about the history of Double Dragon so they understood about it, and we got them to watch your video as a team. I was like, fuck yeah, I love it when that sort of shit happens. But it would be insane. Out of all of these crazy awesome things, the special thanks I get is in like Amico games. So maybe I need to bash more systems then and more games. Then I'll get noticed in the future releases in the credits.
Well, tell Steven. Tell Stefan from BBD, be like, hey, Tony said he'll pay to get in the special things. Huh? That would kill Tommy and the team. Could you imagine that if in an Amico game, special thanks to Tony TGD?
They wouldn't like that. They wouldn't like that. But I tell you what. As much as people may think, and I'm not just saying this because you're on the call, but as much as people may think that you are a hardcore hater, I do believe that if you got this system and it was like, okay, actually, you know what, this is good, I think you would legitimately say that it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I would give it an honest and fair review.
I think you would be honest. Right, we're talking about that quite a bit now. So I think we've gone past the Atari Creep stuff quite nicely. This is a very, 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 very recent development. Tommy Tallarico. I've written steps down, but that's not the case, is it?
Yeah, promoted to customer.
Okay. Right, let's load this bad boy up. Intellivision Amico. Let's go to their website. That's where it's from, wasn't it? Their website?
Yeah.
Do I want to buy these? Can you still buy these?
I think on...
Create an e-commerce store. Jesus Christ.
I think there's still some like weird European websites that have them on there.
So you can buy them from the American website, but American site. But if I go to the European site, create an e-commerce store. Painful.
I know there was some like third-party, like Amazon type websites that were doing the pre-orders. I think they still have the pre-orders.
Right.
For the consoles. They never told. They literally did not tell anybody, hey, we're not shipping. It's like, hey, we just won't say nothing. Oh, no notice.
I've still got my Amico games. The infamous Amico games. Yeah, Michael Town saying in the chat, Scott the Woz bought a bunch recently, possibly from there. I think he's got it a couple of times. I was out in my game room today, living it up, doing a puzzle with my wife, because that's how hardcore I am. Yeah, I saw the Amico games out there. Oh, there they are, from when I filmed with them. Oh, right above the Amico game, the Evercade games as well. So let me just go back. We can go back to like June of this year. That would have happened. God, it's going slow, the old Wayback Machine. People out there that don't know, the Wayback Machine, this is an absolute godsend for people out there to do research, and I've been using it all day on my latest Kick Scammer video as well. It gives you the opportunity to look at what a particular web page, if they have it, look like. Insert previous date. So if we just wait for this bad boy to load up. But as you can see, as of right now, Phil Adam is the Chief Executive Officer. He is at the top of the pecking order. However, it wasn't that long ago when Mr. Tommy Tallarico, the founder, president, and Chief Creative Officer, was the bad boy at the top. Out of nowhere, he's just got slapped down. Oh, no, not there. Not there. Not there. Not there. Not there. Not there. There he is. Founder, board member, and investor. Yep. Do we know of a date to when that happened? It was only within the last week or so, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was posted on Reddit. I know you can find it on Reddit. That was the first day they noticed. I don't know if that was the actual day it had switched. Probably the best guess.
I mean, have you got anything to add for this? Is it? It's a bit mental that like.
It was 3 days ago, so. But...
Okay, so investors didn't know, wasn't informed about this. Pretty big change up in the company. Let's be honest.
It's a weird change up. To be honest,
I'm going to put it as the 19th.
Because someone was asking in the chat. They said, "How come Tommy's listed as a founder? Isn't that a slap in the face to Keith and all them, right?" Well, technically, Intellivision Entertainment is a new company. Tommy founded a new company.
Good point. Yeah.
After he got Keith's shares from the Life Celebration. But the weird thing was, and I never understood this, right? So Tommy buys Keith shares, right? And then they decide we're gonna form a new LLC. Right? Why did Tommy not have control of the new LLC? Why did they say, okay, we're gonna form a new LLC, but we're also gonna have it divided exactly the same as the old LLC?
I haven't got an answer for you.
It just seemed weird. Like, I would have figured, like, because he's like started a new company. Like, okay, so then you should be like 100% in charge of this new company, and then you're just using your 28% share of the other company to try to drag along whatever IPs or whatever you can from them, right? It was like, no, like all of a sudden, like all these guys are on the board and they got all these people like telling Tommy what to do and calling shots. I'm like, that don't make no sense. Like, why would you do that to yourself?
Yeah.
I guess, you know, I'm not a business mogul like Tommy. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, I guess.
Yeah, I remember that quote. So, I mean, there's not really much to add to that, but it was, hey, at this point, any news is news to talk about, right?
Well, I do wonder if this has to do with the upcoming lawsuit. If they're really trying to cut all ties with Tommy. Like, look.
Oh, what,
he's
the
not one of
furniture
us.
one?
Yeah. It could be as simple as they said, you know what, Tommy? We know the furniture lawsuit's coming up. You're liable for that. We'll give you $100K if you just walk away from the company completely. Like, have no say, no nothing.
Speculation, but I mean, possibly.
Because again, like you said, there's no announcement. No one said anything. Tommy's been quiet on social media for forever.
Yeah. Absolutely. But there you go. There's that one. Now, this one's a big one. This one is a very, very big one. I mean, to do a bit of research on this bad boy. But Amico Home. So that was a bit of a punch to the gut to many follower. I'm sure even Mr. PM Ferreira would agree on that one.
No, because as Rab has told us, the Amico was never selling a console. They were selling an experience. And experience still exists now on the Amico Home.
All right. The Amico Home. So let's do a little YouTube search for the Amico Home, just so we can get a rough idea on the date. I know Mr. Smash JT definitely talked about it. I'm pretty sure No Swear Gamer did. Amico Home just killed the Intellivision Amico. There it is, No Swear Gamer, as explained. And that was on. Is it going to show me a date? I have to click the video. May 31st, 2023. So,
that was the same email.
Say that again.
That was the same email as the Shark video email.
Yes, it was. Okay, so around the same time as the BEBG announcement that they were going to be, they are the people that have now owned the rights to Shark, Atcha Smash. At least they're the ones we know about. Might only be those ones, we'll have to see. But Amico Home is going to be something that they're looking to move forward with. And it's essentially putting Amico games... It's so ridiculous. On your mobile phone, something that Tommy Tallarico always pushed against.
Well, actually, you're half wrong. There's something that a lot of people have missed, right?
Go for it.
Okay, so if you read the email, because I'm looking at it right now, it
Do you want to send it over and I'll get it up on the screen?
What the hell is your email address?
Oh, it's in your email, is it?
Yeah.
Right, okay, I'll see if I can find it.
But it says, as part of our expanded strategy, we plan to bring Amico experience to other hardware platforms, starting with mobile devices, under the name Amico Home.
Yes.
Okay, so if you look at the way it's written, Amico Home is going to be on other hardware platforms. It's not specifically a mobile device thing. We're going to have Amico Home on, say, PlayStation, on Xbox, and Steam. Everyone was assuming that Amico Home was strictly like a mobile device thing, but it's not. It's going to be the app or whatever it ends up being on all the other platforms.
Struggling to see how I can put this on the screen without showing my email, if I'm honest. But actually, I don't think my email's on here. I think this is okay. Yeah, it should be all right.
Doxing himself, Lord. And
that's it. I'll never learn. I'll never learn. There we go. So there we go. So as you were saying,
like I said, it says,
yeah.
But
as an entertainment business, we realise that creating great content requires world-class partners and a focus on strategies where we can effectively achieve the necessary level of excellence to succeed. To this end, we will be announcing a string of new partnerships that will not only help bring fun and innovative content that captures the Amico experience, but also bolsters and celebrates our content appeal by one, licensing our IP, blah, 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 blah. Let's get to Amico Home. There we go. As part of our expanded strategy, we also plan to bring Amico experience to other hardware platforms, as you said, starting with mobile devices under the name Amico Home. Amico Home will dramatically reduce the hardware footprint needed to enjoy Amico games and provide more developers the opportunity to explore the creative potential of in-room multiplayer games with our innovative physical and smartphone controllers. There we go. Physical controllers. I know there was a lot of people talking about the fact that they think that they're gonna. But there was that talk, wasn't there, at one point? That we can put those like jelly things on the screen of the Amico controller that would give them clickable buttons.
I don't think that's what they're doing. I think they're doing what we had said, and they're going to sell the Amico controllers separately and make them function with Bluetooth with, say, your PlayStation or your Switch or whatever. So you'll be able to get the Amico experience without an actual Amico, because you'll be using the controller and you'll be using a different console to access Amico Home, which has the Amico games.
Right. 23rd.
Because realistically, the Amico controllers were the only thing that worth anything on the whole console.
I mean, they are. Agreed. Yeah. I would be. I mean, don't get me wrong, I want an Amico so fucking bad. But hey, an Amico controller, I'm okay with that too. I'm sure you're in the same boat. You could get two and put it on top of your shell.
No, but then it would cover all the nice signatures that I got on it now.
Yeah.
We got
any new ones on there?
Yeah, when I went to Too Many Games, I got Retro Bro, I got Movie Madness, the Dr. Doom guy. He's on there.
Oh,
I got,
yeah.
Brett Weiss.
Right.
He did it. The Pass the Controller podcast, who interviewed Tommy, they signed it.
Send it over to me in the post. I'll sign it and send it back.
Oh, man, that thing will get stolen. It'll be like the most valuable item. They'll see what it is, and everybody will want that.
That postman will know. My postman does know who I am. Every so often he'll say, like, "Oh, what you got?" When he hands me stuff.
It'll get flagged, like how Tommy always gets flagged at the airport.
Yeah.
After his $100,000 run.
What part of America are you in?
The Midwest.
Midwest. I don't know what that means.
I'm in Chicago.
Chicago. Okay. So I'm looking to come to Chicago in a couple of years' time. Genuinely, I am. I went out. I spent like a few months out there when my wife did a gap year in Chicago for her university back in the day, and we want to go back because she's got friends out there. So we'll hopefully do that again in a couple of years. And if I do, maybe we can make the visit and I can sign that shell. There you go. How's that for you?
Oh, we'll get it live on camera.
Hey, by then maybe the Amico will come out and then we can meet up and have an Amico stream.
Have an Amico day.
Have an Amico day. That's right. What's that?
Sweet Tender, no, Pat.
Go on, sorry, go
on. Sweet Tender asked if Pat signed it. No, Pat didn't sign it.
Did Pat sign it? I feel like Sweet Tender Hooligan, you know whether Pat signed it or not, and you know the answer is no, he did not sign it.
Having an Amico day is what OEB Pete, the big Tommy supporter, that's what he used to end his videos with.
He did. So anyway, yeah, this Amico home announcement. I mean, is there really much else to add to this? At the moment, it is just words, which isn't surprising from this company.
No, it's not. No. Wrong.
Fill me in.
That's why you have me here. Because this past Wednesday, EJC actually showed off his phone, and he was playing Amico Home. Or so he claims. He only showed a video off of what was it? Not Moon Patrol. Missile Command and Astro Smash. But he claims that was Amico Home running on his phone.
Really?
Yeah, there's a video on the Reddit. You go to the Amico Reddit.
I don't.
You don't?
Thank you very much. Wait, oh, did you bring it in? So my wife was just asking me a question. Okay, thank you. Just filling up the screen a little bit better there. Okay, that's interesting. Have you got a link to that, or?
Yeah, I'll send it to you on.
There we go. Update on Amico Home.
Someone was nice enough to clip out the little section.
You've sent it. Awesome. Let's have a look.
Oh, Sideswipers was the other game.
Maybe that's Sideswipers on Amico Home. But yeah, I am testing Amico Home, and as soon as I can show you guys some play, I will let you know. Let me show you this.
So since you're testing Amico Home,
did you notice anything about the Sideswipers?
Move on that system to a happy guest in the chat. To
what's happening? What's that music all about? Maybe that's Sideswipers on Amico Home.
Tap to start.
But yeah, I am testing.
Oh, it doesn't say Hot Wheels on it.
Oh, I see what you mean. Right.
It was supposed to be the Hot Wheels licensed game.
Yeah.
And it was at one point called Colossal Crash.
It was, yeah.
As soon as I can kind of show you guys some play, I will let you know. Let me.
Are you going to do it as soon as you can see it, or are you going to wait for someone like me to announce that I'm about to release a review and then quickly release one before it? Or is that the angle you're going to go down?
Show you this.
So since you're testing Amico Home,
me or DJC?
I'm talking about DJC.
You can move on that system to a happy.
I have to watch it on YouTube.
Thank you, honey.
You're welcome.
Cheers. That's all right. You can stay in there. Right. Sorry, what was you saying?
I'm saying that I'm watching it on YouTube, so I'm like.
Oh, you're a little bit behind. Yeah. Oh, in that case, let me show my stream, and then you'll be more up to date. I should have done that earlier. My bad. Show your screen, and I can share my OBS, and then you're actually more up to date. There you go. There we go. So, yeah,
test in the chat to maybe continue some testing there, right? I mean, you don't. There's only one of you to test.
I had nothing.
I mean, what do you want to play, Missile Command or something? That's crazy on your phone. All right, but I figured I just kind of show you that is a thing and it is happening. And yes, as a tester, I'm one of the people helping with that as well. And hopefully some more to show in the future. That listen to that ominous music for.
Okay. So that was 5 days ago. Do we know what was 5 days ago? I want to say the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The 17th, I'm going to say. 17th.
No, it was this. That video is from the 16th.
Okay,
from
sorry.
The Wednesday show.
16th of August, 2023. DJC shows off that he is testing Amico Home. Now, what do you reckon Amico Home is in regards to a product? Is this a subscription service? Is this like pay a one-off fee for the games? What do you think it is?
I think it's going to be a mobile store within the App Store. So Amico Home is essentially going to have nothing, and then it's going to be like, hey, do you want to buy Shark? Do you want to buy Astro Smash? Whatever. I think that's what it is. It's nothing more than a storefront.
That's interesting, because I do wonder, how does that work with the licensing now that BBG own it? Because I was under the impression, not from BBG, but from what everyone else has seen, that BBG own the rights to be able to release that on everything, and and earn money from it. How you would being the rights holder on everything except the Amico itself.
Well, if you look at the email, it says that they could release Astro Smash and Shark and Dynablaster on the Amico and any other platforms that Intellivision has going forward.
Okay.
So technically, like we're in that area again where it's like, well, technically Amico Home would be a platform that Intellivision is releasing, right?
Right. Gatoroo says they want to also be a multiplayer hub app, so it will cast the TV and other phones join in as controllers. Sure.
Yeah. So essentially what we said from the very beginning, but Tommy told us was a stupid idea.
Yeah. Stupid! It's a stupid idea. There we go. Right, let's go make a little note of that one. Add that bad boy in.
Yeah. It's funny because when I brought up this point to Tommy, when he goes, well, mobile games are solitaire, I said, well, you could just cast it onto the TV. He goes, that's complicated. Dude, no one knows that. What are you talking about? Never heard of that.
Insane.
I swear these guys, the issue with Amico, why Amico failed was because everybody involved had not been a part of the business or even participated in the gaming community itself for like 20 years. They had no idea what was possible, what was going on, what were the trends in gaming.
Mm-hmm. Insane.
Ridiculous.
So we've gone the Amico Home there. New Intellivision systems. That was a big one. That was quite a big bombshell that dropped. And then it just faded away quite quickly as well. So for people out there that don't know what happened with this particular one, and I think I'm going to get this one wrong because this came and went so quickly from where I was sitting.
Thinking you miss it?
It wasn't. I mean, no, I didn't miss it, but it was just like it ended so quickly. There was a YouTuber out there, can't think of his name right now off the top of my head.
Mike's Gaming Gala, which I will be interviewing tomorrow.
There it is. Is that going to be a live stream?
Live stream.
Nice. Make your way over there. It never ends, the Amico sandal. So anyway, yeah, he has been talking with, I want to say BBG, he claimed, or at least his guest claimed, and
William Moeller from Electronite.
I'll let you take it over. I'll let you explain it better than me.
All right, so Mike's Gaming Gala is friends with a gentleman by the name of William Moeller, who is the president of Electronite. They make homebrew carts for Intellivision, from my understanding, and they make what they claim. There's been some speculation that either they are licensed after-party developers or they just claim they are licensed after-party developers. But either way, he's been working with BBG. In the interview, he claims that he's the one who introduced BBG to Intellivision, and he's the reason that whole partnership started. Then they fast forward, and they go over some boring stuff. And basically, then William says, "Well, I've been working as a consultant with BBG, and they're coming out with 2 brand new Intellivision gaming systems. One is a flashback mini-style system, The other is an Intellivision 3 that's going to play Intellivision cards, Atari cards, and ColecoVision cards, as well as have games built into them, as well as it's going to take your games and it's going to upgrade them to their Intellivision 3 version. Intellivision 3 never released, but this is like what it would have been.
Yeah.
And that they were looking for devs to make new Intellivision 3 games going forward.
Yep. It was so ridiculous. I mean, it wasn't the worst idea. I remember like the as in for the system itself, it wasn't the worst idea. I know there was a lot of people like, okay, this is something they should have really done in the beginning, like as in instead of the Amico. But then almost as soon as it was announced, it was
because there's more.
There's more.
We let that settle in, because during the interview, William had said, and this is what caused all heck to break loose, man. I don't want to swear. I'm gonna guess on your channel, but all heck, Ichi double hockey sticks broke loose because William said that BBG now owned 100% of the Intellivision library, lock, stock, and barrel, just outright owned.
He did say that, yes.
And that caused everybody to go insane, because that meant that the Intellivision was out of the game, right? They had sold everything to another company. They had no licenses, no IPs, nothing. They were done. And then quickly, that had to get walked back. Almost, I'll say like 8 hours later, Mike had made an update going, well, we talked to William, and apparently that's not the case. They only licensed the Intellivision library. And then it quickly became, well, they actually only licensed 60 games, which is essentially, if you know anything about the Intellivision library, it would be essentially every game that Intellivision owns, because, you know, the exclusion of like Burger Time, no one expected something like that. You know, there was licensed games that they don't own. So what Intellivision would still have owned from the library would it be about 60 games anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then we had John Alvarado jumping around in people's comment sections, addressing it, talking about, no, that's wrong, and this is wrong information, yada yada yada, doing his thing. It was an insane couple of days.
Ridiculous. It was 2 new systems, wasn't it?
Yeah, like I said, one was a flashback mini style, and then the other was the Intellivision 3 with the 3 physical ports.
Insane.
This thing was announced on like a Monday, and it was dead by Friday.
Yeah. He also claims that BBG own all games. By the end of the week, this was all shut down.
Yeah. Because he went to after it had happened. Like I said, I made my video, my live stream, and some other people made videos. You know, going insane because, like I said, well, that meant that's it, right? They don't own nothing. So then everything got walked back, and then it went to, well, John Alvarado says they don't actually have the ability to make a flashback console. They only license the games to put on, say, a collection,
right?
Say a BBG Presents Intellivision collection, but they couldn't make a console with the games built in. That like wasn't part of the license.
Sure.
So then the Mini got scrapped. So the Mini's gone. That's not happening. But the Intellivision 3 was still happening because, right, an FPGA system, you really can't stop you, right?
Mm.
But then they're like, well, part of the announcement was that games were going to be built in. So that couldn't happen no more. So then it was just the 3 Intellivision, Atari, Coleco. But then they said, well, they didn't license the name either. So they couldn't even call it the Intellivision 3 anymore. And then quickly that got scrapped too. So, and then William Moeller went to Atari Age to say that we killed the project. Our criticisms, our skepticisms, our videos have killed this project, and it is now completely dead because of us.
Insane. And that will happen within a week. No, carry on.
Then, so I reached out to BBG, right? Because I want to figure out what the hell's going on. And so I reached out to BBG, and BBG basically said they had never announced that. Whatever William said, don't take that as an announcement by BBG that they did not have the ability, will not have the ability, and are not looking to get the ability to make a console ever.
I keep missing my contact at BBG because I wanted to chat to him about this, but Yeah, it is what it is, isn't it? It's just so ridiculous.
Oh, apparently we missed something else on the Intellivision website. Gatoroo's just sent me this.
Okay.
Dave Perry has went from board member / investor to advisor / investor.
Interesting. Okay, I will announce. I'll change that as well then.
I have to check everybody's titles.
Yeah. Also, Dave Perry changed from, what was it? Board member, investor.
Yeah. From board member to advisor.
Nice. They can't hide anything. I bet it almost happened. If I was their mentality and doing this, I would make these changes, and then I'd quickly run over and just see how long is it going to take them to spot this, you know. Robert Stoll, $30. The Atari Amico collection coming soon to Steam, PS5, Xbox One, and available physically through reproduction cards. There we go.
Insane. And like I said, Steven Berendinson, the head of BBG, he's the one who emailed me and told me this, that no, we're not making a console. It's not happening. I'm assuming he didn't lie to me.
He seems like a good guy to me.
Yeah, he was really. I think he knows who I was or who I am. So
I can almost guarantee that.
And he was really respectful. He didn't like yell at me, but like, hey, you made fun of the console or whatever. He's just like, yeah, this is not happening.
Mm-hmm. There we go. We pretty much covered the Amico system, not Amico, the new Intellivision systems there. I mean, there's more for me to actually add in the cleanup of that with all the notes, but at least, hey, I've got the basics there. I'll probably be chatting to you more, Mr. Geek Getaway, before I add this to that comment in my video. Right. Tommy comes back and plays video games live. He comes back from hiding. He was gone for a long time, but he came back. And a whole heap of the biggest supporters rocked up to go and see him. They bought their tickets, they travelled across America, and they watched him play. In attendance, you had, obviously, was DJC there?
DJC,
Mike Mullis, Saggy Melons.
Mike Mullis. I believe Atari Creep.
Right.
And I want to say Bacon Ice Cream. Holy shit, that was loud.
Is that really loud for you, is it?
Yeah.
I should probably turn them down. I don't know how to do it, though, off the top of my head right now. So, yeah, Tommy playing video games live. I'll try and find a quick timeline of when that happened. Tommy video game live. Oh, that's just going to come up with loads of things, isn't it? Oh, no, Beyond Embarrassing, 2 months ago from Smash DT. That'll do. That'll give us a good timeline of when that happened. We're going to say June 4th, 2023. Or at least that was the day he covered it. So I think it would have been June 3rd. He's pretty quick.
That's what she said.
Yeah. So we can see that we're getting a few things per month. There is still shit going down. 3rd of June 2023. Tommy comes back. Comes out of hiding for a video games. Did you ever see a video games live show?
No. I don't think I'm allowed. They probably got my picture. And like, don't let this guy in.
I genuinely would have loved to have seen one. As I said maybe I said it in my video. I said it in many interviews after I released my video. When me and Tommy talked, obviously we did talk about the Amico from time to time, but 90% of the time when we talked in the old messenger, it was about music. Like, big fan of music, as is he. Other people's. And yeah, that's probably what we talked about. I would have found that interesting to see video games live.
That's how he gets you.
That's how he gets you.
And I'm not just saying that. Like, people might think, oh, I'm just saying that to be funny or clever or whatever. But no, genuinely, I believe Tommy figures out what it is you're interested in, shows an interest in the same subject, and so that you have something in common he can talk to you about, and then weasel in his Atari or Amico stuff. I say this because when Tommy DM'd me on Atari Age, he went through the whole gambit of Chicago sports teams, the Symphony Opera, Italian restaurants in the area, everything he could think of in my city to see if I was interested in something. Unfortunately for him, I was not interested in any of those things.
I tell you what, like, here's something that's quite sickening, but it's a little insight into the mind of a salesman, and it's the insight as to why I didn't do too great, and I think that's a good thing. So basically, I used to be a sales guy, working in an IT company, and one thing I fucking hate, which is quite a surprise for people out there, I can't stand football. I fucking can't stand football. And when I say football, I mean British soccer, like British football.
Soccer.
I can't stand it.
Got a hooligan?
Oh, I hate it. And it's such a shame because the only time we get patriotic as a company is when England's playing, and not just England, British male footballers, and it's such a shame. We've just had the females get to the final of the FIFA final here in the UK. They went up against Spain. They sadly didn't win, but no one was talking about it. Hardcore football fans couldn't give a shit because it was the females playing, and that sucks. It really, really does suck because, not to be an arsehole, if there's any football fans out there, but the women beat the men. They got further than the men did. Anyway, I can't stand football. I think I've made my point there. So I used to work in a sales team, and sales guys bloody love football, and they really, really, really pushed me to just pick a team and at least find out everything I can about that team so I can start having conversations with people down the phone about football to be able to sell more. And I think that kind of relays to what you were talking about there.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is.
Yeah.
You find out what the person's interested in, share an interest, and you become quote-unquote friends, and that's how they get you to buy their product.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Tommy's product wasn't the Amico; it was Tommy. So.
Exactly. Catnip says, "Have you still got the Amico shell?" We've already discussed that. You do still have it, don't you?
I do.
Signed by a lot of people.
The place of honor. I tried, like I said, I tried to get Pat to sign in. I even told him, I said, Pat, I am never going to sell this. This is not a thing that I am selling. I'm not getting your signature to sell it. Wouldn't do it.
It's a little memento of the time we've shared. That's all good,
I have the only complete collection.
You do? You do?
Yeah, I have the shell. I have the games. And I have the 2 books written about Amico. One of them is out of print, so I have one of the few.
Wasn't
copies.
you one of them authors?
Yeah.
Was it the one where it's just blank pages that say "coming soon" or something?
Yeah, and then the other book is by Cyrus, but he took that out of print.
What's that book about?
Well, let me get it.
Interesting. Didn't know about this.
It's called Together Again. One of the greatest video game consoles is about to make its comeback. Cyrus Martin. It's about the history of the Intellivision Amico, about Tommy, the little bit of a history of the Intellivision itself.
I do remember hearing about this, actually. Yeah.
And there's little, not a lot. I was disappointed because I was expecting a book with more anecdotes to Cyrus's life, playing the Amico and stuff. But there's a little bit, but not a lot.
Right.
Then I went over the book on a live stream, and then he didn't like that too much. I think I was a little harsh.
Joey, drop me a message on Discord, mate, if you want to join in. More than happy to get you in here, mate. Another update I've got, that would be quite funny. Another update I got, which is a very minimal one, but I think it's worth adding to this just to... I mean, I would have it as a passing mention in my video. If I was working this as a script, I would make this a passing mention. It's the 22nd today, and Atari have just announced another console. I mean, I couldn't care less about it, I've got to say. But
that was expected, wasn't it? Because they announced not too long ago. I want to say like 2 or 3 weeks ago. They announced a partnership with Imaji, the guys behind the Polymega people.
Yeah, no, I get it, but I'm just saying it was like we got the official trailer and everything today, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here it doesn't have 5600.
No, I don't believe it does. I mean, I haven't looked into it too much. I'm not trying to be like, hey, if you like the Atari games and the old Intellivision games, more power to you. But I have so many ways to play those games now. It's absurd, and I didn't even grow up with an Atari. I can play Atari games as well as that system will provide on an Evercade. I think I've got a Switch game collection that I got sent potentially. You can get them. Well, I tell you what's quite funny. On the PlayStation 4, you can get the Atari collections, Volume 1, 2, and possibly 3. And if you look on the back of the box, they actually say PS4 Pro Enhanced. It's like, really? Really? What is the PS4 Pro bringing to these Atari 2600 games that the PS4 can't provide? It's so ridiculous. Hey, more power to you guys out there that want yet another way to play 10 Atari games that you already own 700 times.
What I will say, one of the disappointments about the Amico never coming out is we do not get a updated Tommy Tallarico version of the Intellivision flashback song. Is it the I Want My Amico flashback main theme song on that collection?
I don't know what that is.
On the Intellivision Lives collection, there's songs specifically made for the game.
Right.
One
okay.
Of them is like I Want My Intellivision. Or something.
Yeah, I remember seeing that. Yeah.
And Tommy said that they were going to update it. They were going to make a new version of that for the Amico.
Okay. Fair enough. Tad Tarded. I love slopes. Oh, thank you very much. I love you too. You legend. So that is everything I've got regarding updates, but I'm sure there's more. Can you think of anything that we've missed? Mr. Geek Getaway?
I can't think of anything we missed. I think we covered every... I said just the BBG stuff, but that's... No.
I mean, obviously these games are still to be released from BBG.
Yeah. Oh, Breakout's not coming out.
Okay, I completely missed this.
Bit Trip Runner came out. I think it was maybe on Twitter. It said, yeah, it's not happening. They never got what they showed off was basically everything that they had worked on. That was it.
Well, that sucks.
It was never a completed game. No, it was in their Discord. That's where it was. They said it wasn't a completed game, but he goes, if we bug, I forget the name of the head dev, if you bug so and so, maybe we can get a finished up version. They can slap it on Steam and you guys can play it or whatever. And yeah, Graviators, as Evil's saying, that's on Steam now. That was Space Strikers on Amico.
Wait. I'm trying to find the information there about the Bit Trip game. Bit Trip Breakout, never coming out. I need to find out when they said that. That sucks. That was genuinely one of the games I was well excited for. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's obviously not going to be like a God of War contender or whatever, but it's a game, it's classic gaming and a new version of a classic game, and that short demo, basic as it was quite fun. I could see but it would have been a perfect mobile game. It would have been the perfect, absolute definition perfect of mobile game. Go on, get it sent over.
Yeah. send you the link. It was like a month ago that someone found it.
Okay, I fully missed this.
That's why you got to be on the Intellivision _Amico subreddit. Started as a leader of the gaming races until he was kicked out of his own subreddit.
I mean, I shouldn't laugh. Breakout by Choice Provisions. That was it. Known for the Bit Trip series. Is confirmed to be dead. RIP to one of the few slightly interesting games for the system. Let's see what's being said here. Oh yeah, speaking of Amico, what's going on with Breakout game you guys were doing? I know the Amico is sort of in limbo now, but I was curious if anything else has come out about it. Yeah, that's a thing. I know one thing. I don't think that game will ever see the light of day. It was a weird project. And when I say weird, well, you know, if you all bother Garrett, maybe he can get a version on Steam that we could share with only the coolest fans. Wow, well that sucks. Is there 2 pictures? Am I missing?
Yeah, there's 2 pictures.
Why can't I see this?
At the very top above the picture, it just say previous and next. Yeah.
It was cool. I think we could probably share it. I would say it was far from finished, but a fully playable game, and it will never be released. I don't mind game-breaking bugs. I can handle it. Imagine at the end it says coming soon, Bit Trip Reflux. I think it has some bugs, but I think it's fairly playable without issues. Now with more acidity, Reflux. There we go. Wow. That sucks. That was generally one of the games I was looking forward to. Genuinely.
And that screenshot is from July 9th, as it says on there.
Right, okay. Oh, man. June, there we go. July. What you got to say about that, PM Ferreira? I'm angry now.
Joey Freed says, how does he get on?
I'll bring him in. I'll bring him in. Breakout. Guys, I've got a very special guest coming. Officially cancelled. There we go. Oh, that sucks. I wanted that game. Oh, that really sucks. Right. Yeah, very special guest. Very, very special guest. I need to add him to the call. And I need to remember how to do that. There we go. Hello.
Hello.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, the voice of Tommy Tallarico. Here we have Mr. Joey Freeze in the house. You all good, buddy?
Yeah, hold on. Let me just mute you on here. Okay. Okay, I got it.
Love it. Yeah, here he is, guys. This is the guy I got in as the voice of Tommy Tallarico for my video. Amazing. It's good to have you back, man. It's been a while since we've spoken.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm getting a little disoriented. I still got to figure out how to stop this echo.
You don't run video games live, do you?
No.
But you got to tell me the story about Pat.
I got it.
Joey.
I just muted the YouTube video. I think that's got it.
Catnip asks. There we go. Is voice sorted?
Yes.
Catnip asks, Joey, is your mother proud?
My mother is very proud. That joke's not old yet, huh?
Not old yet. I think we will be throwing that one round in the old people's homes.
Yeah, God. I mean, that was just... I remember seeing that everywhere for weeks.
Yeah.
Just non-stop.
Yeah. Well, let me just say right now, thank you very much, buddy, for actually being the main guest voice, I would say, in the video. Obviously, I brought you in because you were the fake Tommy from the Pat and Ian days of their popular podcast, who also showed up a hell of a lot in my video. So I was like, you know what, we gotta get Joey Freeze the OG fake Tommy Tallarico to continue on that role. And I think nowadays you are the true fake voice of Tommy Tallarico.
Well, I'm the only one who's still, in a place where he can be seen and heard.
Yep. Well, unless you become a hardcore fan and goes to Video Games Live.
Yeah, I mean, part of me might want to go to something like that because that's right up my alley. I always go see the Final Fantasy Orchestra whenever they come to town. So, nice. I think that might be something that would be up my alley, and I wonder if Tommy would know who I am if I went to say hello to him.
Absolutely.
Oh, the voice would give it away.
But does Tommy know about me and all that shit?
Yeah,
I can't believe that he would be so desperate to look at every single video that he's jumping on 15-year-olds podcasts, and yet he doesn't watch the most popular video on YouTube about the Amico. He has, and that does not be bigging myself up, but like he would definitely watch that video. There's no way he didn't watch that video.
He got it on repeat. He keeps watching it.
But I'm wondering if he heard the compilations from the podcast or whatever, from those voicemails or whatever.
Yeah, you're on the list, Joey. You're in the hater folder. It's like Patney and me, and like 3 or 4 down at you.
Well, he still has to kill Pat and Ian first. I think he would take care of them first before he would get to, I would probably be something like 12th or 13th. Maybe not. I probably wouldn't even crack the top 50, to tell you the truth.
You know what I'm doing right now? Actually, I'm going to show it on my screen. I am this here is the Amico scandal script. This is it.
Oh yeah, I remember you gave me that. Like I had a day to fucking read 100 lines right after I got home from work.
Yeah.
But I was happy to do it. That's one of those things that's a passion project. I would consider it.
Oh, cheers, buddy. Yeah, I mean, I put a lot of time into it, as we all have. I mean, it's not just this video. It's the without Tony TGD doing his videos and all the other people like Goose and all these other people. Like, just the entire saga wouldn't exist. So yeah. But the reason I've opened it up is because I'm looking for a quote, because I know the video back to front, like and sideways and every other. I'm looking for a good quote.
Very few people know a 4-hour anything back to front.
I know this very well. I've had to watch it a lot. I mean, this is not a bad quote. Maybe we can get you to read this one right here. Let me send it on Discord, and you can do it in your angry Tommy voice.
Before that happens, real quick.
Go on.
Oh, that one
Joey,
you just pasted? Yeah. Well, what'd you say, Tony?
As I say, have you considered like doing like a cameo? Like, I am fake Tommy. Hire me to do your cameo.
Oh my god!
I mean, how many requests would I really get for that? I mean, I'm a parody of like a fucking H-list person.
I'll tell you what. There's at least 6 people in the chat that are already like, oh yeah, I would hire him.
Yeah, and then
there's
you
so
can
many
just
things.
People.
You can close your cameo down after that. Just get a tenner and get out of there.
There's so many things I want read in fake Tommy's voice. I would keep you on retainer, Joey, is what I'm saying.
So you're saying you would put my kids through college just by yourself?
I spent more money on stupider things as the
like an Amico shell.
Exactly. Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. Yeah.
Yeah, I see the line you sent me here.
Right, here we go.
On Kickstarter, you had to have hardware in order to kickstart it. But Indiegogo, you can crowdfund something, a piece of hardware, never come out with it, and keep $3 million.
Give it up, guys. Come on, let's give it up. Amazing. Love it. Love it. Oh, it's good. It's good to have you back, buddy. It's good to have you back.
Thank you. Well, but my favorite thing to read was yelling at Tony. And part of me was like, the insane thing was that when I was reading those lines, I was like, the first time in my life, I kind of halfway see where Tommy's coming from here. Like, I understood why he was so pissed off.
The thing is, hearing your voice now...
So I think I'm getting too close to this role, because I'm starting to fucking agree with him.
All that method acting.
Yeah.
I'm hearing your voice now, and the thing is, because I've had to edit that video for so bloody long, and then I've watched it a few times, having a commentary and whatever. I'm reading the script, and everything that's grey. So everything that's grey in the script, they're Joey's lines. That's Tommy Tallarico quotes, and I see it, and I can hear you exactly how you said it. I'm the CEO. I'm not guessing at the figure. Smiley face. Like I can hear you the way you're doing it. It's amazing.
That's Tommy's voice now. When I read Tommy's lines, I read it in Joey's voice now.
I'm almost forgetting how Tommy Tallarico sounds right now. Yeah, insane.
I think it's more like this. Tommy has more of like a droning kind of voice, I think, in real life.
Yeah.
He doesn't scream as much, which is disappointing.
No, you brought that to the table, though. We wouldn't have it any other way. Yeah.
Well, you guys obviously haven't seen the videos of Tommy yelling at me, going, "I hate you, Tony. I don't like you."
There's videos where he yells at you?
Yes.
Like full voice, as if he's like...
Yeah, he was on stream with people, with Saggy Melons, and he's yelling at me in the chat, telling me he don't...
Was his mic clipping and shit? Because that would be great.
I've heard him. I've seen him on video break down, like lose his shit. Yeah.
So you were saying that Pat was happy to see me at Too Many Games?
I know you guys want to talk about this. I'm stepping back. You tell the story. I know you
said,
guys. What was that about, Pat? What was you saying about? You both know what you're trying to get at. Just there's the mic. Go for it.
He was just like, yeah, Tony, the Geek Getaway was here, and he tried to get me to sign an Amico shell, and I refused. And I was just like, oh, you refused. I can't imagine why you would do that.
Well, it was so stupid because the first day of Gamescom, I go up to Pat. It was like the very beginning. I go up to Pat. I go, hey, I introduced who I was, and I said, hey, I got something I want you to sign. If I bring it here tomorrow, will you sign it? And Pat's like, oh yeah, don't worry. He goes, what? I go, an Amico shell. And then he looked at me with this like funny look, like as the wheels were turning and registering. He's like, you're Tony, huh? Yeah.
Oh, so he didn't know who you were yet until you
I don't know what you look like. I wouldn't be able to
no
pick
one knows
you
what
up.
I look like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I even said it to Pat. I said, I don't even know what he looks like. So if I would have seen him here, I wouldn't have even known that he was here.
So the first day he goes, yes, I will sign it. Right. Even after figuring out who I was like, okay. And then I thanked him. I said, I'm gonna bring it back tomorrow. And I went about my business. And I thought, okay, well, Pat said he's gonna sign it. And then I went next day, day 2. I went directly to Pat again. As soon as I got there, I brought the shell, and I said, Pat, I brought the shell. Could you sign it? He's like, no. I'm like, what? I'm like, dude, you said you would sign it. I'm like, I dragged this thing from the hotel here because you said you would sign it. And then there was like a whole shouting match.
That's actually a great troll on his part, I think. That he told you to go get it and then said, okay, now I'm not signing it.
And it was like an argument and a whole thing and a whole kerfuffle.
Well, I tried to get him to sign my copy of The Secret, which was Tommy Tallarico's Bible, apparently, that book, The Secret.
Oh my God! Yeah.
Because as I was telling Pat, my mother gave me a copy of that book long before I knew that Tommy was a fan of that book. She was like, "You need to read this book. It'll tell you how if you put positive thoughts out into the universe, then great things will start to happen." I was like, I don't know if that's how life works. And then when I saw how that Tommy was using this as his business model, I said, okay, now I'm sure that's not how life works.
So right, I'm not sticking up for the Secret in any fucking way whatsoever. But what I will say is, it's not a bad way to be if you're a more positive person. Then that's the idea. It's so that you would be a more positive person, and by being a more positive person, you would surround yourself by more positive people. More better things will come. You'll be more likely to do more things. I think that's the idea of it. personally.
No.
Not really like if I do this, then suddenly Mr. Karma's going to come along and fix things for me. Maybe that's
if I buy a bunch of expensive office furniture, I'll be able to pay for it later.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure the secret does say if you think positively enough, hard enough, you'll get the thing that you want. It has nothing to do. You don't have to have any sort of experience, knowledge, skill. Just wish hard enough.
Yeah, that's the side that's bogus. Like you don't get nothing for free, and by being a nice person, you don't get stuff back. It's just more like it's good to be a good person, and if you're a good person, better things will happen for you. Because
I've seen terrible things happen to very good people.
Yeah, poor old Tommy. Look at poor old Tommy. All that music he made, and then. So yeah. Anyway, is there anything else to add to this? This timeline of events. I like the breakout one. I didn't know that.
Sad news, that breakout.
Yeah, it is sad news. Hopefully it's not the end. Hopefully it's not the end. I'll tell you what's quite interesting. So I've got... it's out in my game room. I've got a press copy of Fox and Forest. And all it is just the soundtrack on CD, and there was a download code to download the game, which I've done already. But the limited run company, whoever they were, it wasn't limited run, but one of the limited run type companies that released Fox and Forest for the Switch, that's now one of the most, well, maybe not one of the most, but it's like a stupidly expensive game to buy. Like, ridiculously expensive. It's like a £300 game or something, if you want to buy it physically. Little interesting fact.
That's what I hear. It's an okay game, though.
Yeah, it is just an okay game. I mean, I didn't complete it. I got maybe halfway through it. I didn't enjoy it enough to do a review.
They were going to improve upon it in Finnegan Fox.
Well, you know what?
They took away from it.
Besides the art, I didn't agree with the art style in Finnegan Fox. But the improvements, as far as the gameplay improvements that they had mentioned, because I did play the original, so I was very familiar with it. So when they talked about certain things as gameplay improvements, I actually think that they would have benefited from them. Because in the game, you can't shoot and walk. It's not a run and gun. It's like stop and gun. You can't shoot when you jump. They were going to add that into the game where you could...
Well, the actual thing that made me start doing those voicemails in the first place, the thing that inspired me to do it, was right after the Finnegan Fox shit when Pat and Ian were pointing out that the control movements do not match what's happening on screen. You know, what Tommy was doing on the controller.
Yeah,
and
that was a whole fiasco in itself. Yeah.
When Tommy tried to pretend, when he made that video saying, hey, look what I did, guys, I made it look that way, I actually sat there in front of my computer going, no, you're not. No, you're not fucking playing that card. No fucking way. This guy has lost his fucking mind.
He done it to wind up Pat and Ian.
I said, I can't tell what's worse, if he's lying about that or if he's telling the truth about that. Because
I know exactly.
Fucking horrible.
What's worse?
Yeah, because if he's lying about that, then he's a fucking liar, and if he's telling the truth about it, then that means he put a video out there to all these people who'd be investing in this product. That's a misrepresentation of how it works, just to troll two fucking guys on a podcast.
I don't know what's happening. It sounds like Tommy Tallarico is so angry at Tommy Tallarico right now. Hey Slopes, can you review the Amico Harlem Globetrotters game next, please? I'm all over it, mate. Anything Amico, I am all over it. Right, anyway, I think we're getting probably near the end of the stream. We've been going for just over a couple of hours now. Can anyone think of anything else that we haven't added? Can you think of anything? Tony TGD? Tommy Uyamiko? Dank? Evil Streams? Smash JT?
I don't even know what I missed. How long have you been streaming?
2 hours and 15 minutes, roughly.
So something must have happened that I missed before I showed up.
No, I mean, I think that's pretty much it. I suppose I need to add to the list, I reviewed Shark. That's probably a fairly big one. I think that's it, though. I think that's it.
I want to know how big the haters folder is now.
Oh, I hope I'm not in the haters folder. I'm definitely in the haters folder.
It was the saddest day in Tommy's life. He moved you from the shill folder, and just a tear rolled down his chin, and just dragged you over to the hater
I would
one.
be honored. I'd be honored to make it in there.
Yeah. Did you notice, like, so there was a few things I did in the video, so I tried to protect myself. There were certain people I didn't want to add, but I still added them and did them in a certain way so that they, you know, it's a bit more transformative and whatever else. And one of the things that he fought back on was people using that desktop image of, you know, where he accidentally showed his screen and he had the Amico haters folder on there. Mental.
Oh, yeah.
So I recreated his desktop. And yeah, but I still had him and the panda, but it was a different him and a panda picture and stuff like that, which was like as close as I could get it by recreating that desktop. So it's like, I didn't show it. That was my video. That was my picture. I did that, you know. Yeah, there we go. A little thing that I did.
I don't know if you mentioned it in your video, but Intellivision did do a copyright strike on my channel. It's still on my channel to this day.
Is it? How long does that last?
Yeah. Well, I could just go to copyright school, but because I refused to do it because it was a bad strike. Because what happened was I did a live stream where I showed off the animation of the little.
It's
Amico
worth
guy.
doing. It's worth doing, mate, because now you're 2 away from losing, and I know it's painful to just click through. Just click.
I
through.
had to go to copyright school because Don Henley copyright struck me.
Jeez. Well, here's the thing. Here's why I was really upset, Slopes, because I did a live stream and I showed off this Amico mascot thing, right?
I remember this.
Right at the very
That's
beginning.
the reason I didn't show it in my video.
Oh, well, hold on, because look, so I showed it, right? And I got 3 copyright strikes from Intellivision. They tried 3 times, and YouTube said no. What he did was fair use. You can't copy strike his live stream, right? So then, like, a couple days later, I did a video specifically talking about someone's tweet. It was a public tweet on Twitter showing the exact same animation that they already tried to copy strike me on a live stream from and failed 3 times. Then they copyright struck me on that, and that's what it went through. And YouTube's like, oh no, yeah, this time it's okay. I'm like, it's literally a public tweet. It wasn't even like I just showed off the animation. I was like, this is this guy's Twitter, and he's tweeting about this thing that happens to be from Intellivision, right?
If I didn't know better, I would think they're not very knowledgeable about legal matters at Intellivision.
Well, look, I don't want to show it because I'm going to get hit if I show it, and it's something that I didn't put in the video. The Amico mascot, that was one of the things that was picked up from in that back-end portal that people managed to get into. Was it not?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing about
let
that.
me just say this quickly. People that are in the chat, I'm going to put you some text. Put that into Google Images, and the first image is it. And then that way I'm not showing it off, but you guys can go and see it. There you go. I've put it in the chat. Don't leave this stream, but go type that into Google Images, and you'll see the Amico mascot. Carry on.
So
Lodi.
The thing is, I distinctly remember this getting posted on Atari Age prior to the dev website being breached.
Okay.
And because L hid everything on Atari Age, that particular section is gone. It wasn't archived. So there's proof out there that the dev website was breached prior to the public breaching by Ars Technica, and that Tommy and them were well aware of it because it was posted in the Atari Age thread. And then Tommy's like, hey, don't show that off. And the guy's like, oh, sorry, I saw this on some website and I didn't know any better. And then he deletes his tweet, or he deletes his post. I distinctly remember it, and I saved it on my computer. And I even told my kid, I was like, hey, Apparently this came from their dev site, but Tommy got mad and they deleted it. I'm like, I shouldn't show this, right? My kid's like, nah, you probably shouldn't. I was like, all right, I'm not gonna show it. And then
you asked your kid?
Yeah, because my kid's invested in the saga too.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Because my kid's like 18 now. The kid was like 15. Well, no, was it like 5 years ago? My kid was like 13 when it started. And Tommy was always insulting me being a bad father and why I don't play games with my kids.
It's a different world now than it was when it started.
Yeah. Because I remember showing it. Because I was like, yeah. And I was all hyped. And I was like, and my kid's like, nah, you're probably better off not. Don't get struck. I was like, yeah, okay, you know better. I didn't. Then, like I said, then like 3 months later, it showed up again. I can't prove it because L decided to hide all of the Atari Age posts.
They did. So I've obviously told people to go look it up. Megna Ryu, holy hell, who thought that was a good design for a mascot? Just remind people, like, this was never public. So, you know, hey, it is what it is. Michael Towns, Gar, that thing is a monster. It's like a possessed Abo, I'm thinking it means Amico. Felix, I hate him so much.
It's Lodi.
Magna Rio, well, I know my mission is to redesign that mascot. And Catnip, Joey's voice is uncanny. I keep thinking it's the real Tommy talking.
The real Tommy.
There you go.
See that, but that was part of the joke, though. The people were like, he actually doesn't sound like Tommy, but they thought that was the funny thing about it, that I didn't sound like him.
Yeah, I mean, you're obviously not Tommy Tallarico, but hey, I love it. I love it. You are the voice.
Well, thank you.
He's become synonymous with Tommy. When you hear the real Tommy's voice, you're like, no, that's not him. That doesn't sound anything like Tommy.
Well, you have a very cool voice too, Slope.
Ah, thank you very much. When everyone says that, I can't help but go into my deep, grunty, gravel voice.
Yeah, I know that
like
Rich and Jay have told you that before, and I was like, yeah, he does. They're right.
Rich and Jay? Who are you talking about?
Rich, RTU.
Oh, right, I see what you mean. Yeah. Yeah, they're good guys.
And now they're both insulted that you didn't know who I was talking about.
That's it, yeah. Just lost those contacts. Don't need to learn about their football teams anymore.
Right.
Didn't show because Tony TGD got a copyright strike for showing it. Yes, Mr. Tony TGD, you should definitely do that copyright school. Get it done. It'll take you all of a minute, and then your channel's nice and clean, and you haven't got to worry about.
If I graduated, anyone can.
Oh yeah,
it was more of a personal stand. Like, this is wrong. I'm not going to do this.
Yeah, no, I get what you're doing, but I mean, your channel's at jeopardy because.
Yes.
Yeah.
Slopes is right. You're sabotaging yourself by not doing it.
Yeah. There you go. Well, look, guys, I think we're going to end it here anyway. I think we're at the end. I don't think there's anything else to add. I'm sure there are other little things, but no one's picking up anything too big that's not been brought up. So that's that. Thank you guys
very
so
much.
Much.
Appreciate it. Very much appreciate you bringing me on.
No, it's all good, man. It's all good. Well, thank you.
A lot of fun.
For being a big part of my most popular video. I mean, it's still not my most popular video, but it's well on its way. In fact, basically, if you want to know the stats of YouTube for me, you always do this thing where in the YouTube studio, you can look at what your most popular videos are within the last 28 days. Amico is very rarely not in the top 3. So no matter what I release that month, yeah, Amico's always creeping in there. Definitely top 5. It's always like, don't forget about me. Like, no, I'm not. 4 hours.
But did I miss anything? Did I miss anything earlier that would suggest that there's some end in sight to the saga, like real closure, or is there still not?
Oh no! Of course not. Of course not. No, it's just me updating the. Basically, I've got a comment on the top pinned comment on my video, and it's just me updating people on what's happened since. And updating, maybe making a few corrections, that sort of thing. And I was just like, I haven't updated that in a long time. Let's do a stream and see what's happened over the last 6 months. Even though we've been chatting for a good couple of hours here, there generally hasn't been that many updates. I mean, the biggest things are Amico Home, another test unit getting sent out to someone that couldn't be bothered to show it off. Not that worried about it in the slightest. Tommy Tallarico's been dropped down. I don't think that's really that big of an update. It's just something that's happened. What else was there? Breakout being cancelled was a fairly big one for me. I can't believe I missed that. Tommy Tallarico did a video game live show. And obviously the biggest one's the BB. One. He has done a video game live show, yeah.
Where? Two of them.
Oh, has he? Done 2? I only thought he did one.
He did one in Chile, and he did one in Boston.
Wasn't it the Chile one where everyone showed up?
No, Boston.
Oh, okay.
Do you think they're flying over to Chile?
When did he do the Boston show?
Not too long ago.
Wow. I would love to see what that was like.
All the shows went there. DJC, Saggy, Mike Mullis.
Oh God!
There was a whole meetup. They went and hung out with Tommy apparently the day after.
Now I'm sorry I didn't go.
God, it would have been so good if you went.
Yeah, I know how to get to Boston. It's not hard.
So I don't know an American map that well. I don't know if California's next to New York. Obviously, I know they're the opposite end. I know that one. But you know what I'm saying? I don't know which ones, when you start getting in, whereabouts are they, I thought Chile was
I hate Boston. I fucking hate Boston, but I would have gone there for that.
Oh, and Evil Stream says they paid the VIP package to go there.
They paid the VIP package?
Yeah.
I would have thought Tommy would have hooked them up after everything they've done.
No, their reputation, that's on them.
Oh man,
they got to do,
wow.
And they got to do a 5-hour Amico video to make up for it.
Damn it!
That's it. See, I was, I was groomed by Mr. Tommy Tallarico. I was caressed by Mr. Tommy Tallarico, but I never pointed fingers and shot away. I never went crazy at Pat and Ian, or anything like that.
Well, you went a little crazy on Reddit, a little.
On Reddit?
Yeah. I remember you throwing a few jabs out there on Reddit.
What did he say about Pat and Ian on Reddit?
What did I say? I generally don't remember if I did.
It wasn't about Pat and Ian. It was about the people, because they were giving him shit over the interview.
Oh, right. No, yeah. That was me defending myself big time. But I wasn't attacking people personally. And
I felt attacked personally.
You did?
Yeah, I was one of the people you were throwing shit at.
Oh, that I would like to see, though.
I generally don't remember. I mean, if I did, my bad. There it is. But hey, it's just such a fucking interesting
Water
saga.
under the bridge.
Water under the bridge. Water under the bridge. I love you now, Tony. You know what? My day isn't complete unless I've seen a short from Tony TGD telling me what he ate that day.
Even if I've called you a right cunt.
Well, I didn't want to monetize this video anyway, so that's all good.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought about it before I said it. I was like, yeah, he probably doesn't care.
No, I generally don't care. It's on my second channel. It's fine.
Okay.
It's all good. It's all good.
I've never been demonetized for using that word, and I use it quite liberally.
Do you?
In England, I thought it was just a form of like saying hello to your friend.
I mean, I'm not gonna call like the mother-in-law, you know, a cunt.
Right.
But I am in a WhatsApp group with my lad mates, and I mean, I want to say almost an hour doesn't go past without us saying it, and just saying it about other things, not just like, you know, each other and people or whatever. It's cunt o'clock or whatever, meaning it's really late or whatever, you know.
There goes Dan's sparkling reputation on YouTube. Pretty soon, there's gonna be exposing videos.
But
EJ Slopes.
Yeah, I know.
The dark side.
The lady in my life gets really angry.
I've heard that before. I've gotten reamed out for using that word before around a woman that I was dating. I was dating her, and she got pissed at me for using it.
Yeah.
I got paid to call somebody that in an article I wrote once.
Really?
Well, that's a weird kink.
And someone said write an article about somebody, and I did, and I happened to use that descriptor. Like,
after they paid you to do so.
Yeah.
Well, there you go then. There you go. Well, look, guys, it's been a good stream. Really, really enjoyed it. I want to just quickly say before we end it here, I should have done this earlier when we had more people watching, because I think we had like over 50 and we're like half that now. Anyway, I
ruined it.
What have you done, Joey? No, what I am doing this Saturday, this is something I've wanted to do for a long time, but my biggest issue on my for my platforms are the fact that I'm just really bad at time management. It's something I'm trying to get better at. And one thing I've wanted to do for the longest time is use my main channel. I never stream on the main channel because it hurt my overall views of my videos and blah, blah, blah. But I have got a big audience on my main channel, 170,000, I think now. I'm starting doing charity live streams as hopefully a once a month thing. And I want to show that off to you now. I'm going to actually start promoting that tomorrow. This Saturday coming, I have a charity quiz thing where all of you people can join in. We're going to be giving away Nintendo Switch physical games that I will personally send out to you that have been donated to me from a company called Strictly Limited Games. I've got Steam codes to give away on the stream, and the contestants, I should have this already up, shouldn't I? That would have been so much smoother and cooler if I had all this ready to show you, but I don't, so I'm just going to keep talking until I find the link, and that link is right here as I click this button, and now I click this button. Here we go. So this is all going to cancer research. First one, we're going to do a charity live stream. I've got Smiley Dave, someone that's helped out a lot on the channel in the past, talking about kick scammers and all that sort of stuff, taking the piss out of them. Big boy Barry, he's an old TV guy from back in the day. I used to watch this guy on telly, and now he's a contestant on my show. How cool is that? We got Stuart Ashins, needs no introduction, the king of Poundland Tat, and then Oliver Harper, movie reviewer extraordinaire, is going to be joining us. It's going to be a great time, couple of hours long this Saturday, 9 p.m. UK time, which I think is about 4 p.m.-ish, maybe 3 p.m.-ish Central Time in America. Get World Time Buddy open, you'll work it out. And it should be good fun. I'll announce, this will be properly announced tomorrow, but hey, yeah, how cool is that? Not bad, eh? Not bad.
Sounds good.
Fucking A.
Fucking A. Fucking A. We're going to be talking about retro gaming stuff. We're talking about kick scammers, retro movie taglines, what movie is this sort of thing. And you guys will be able to join in too and win some prizes. And it's all for a good cause. So how's that? Not bad, eh? I'm going to go to bed though because it's gone midnight. So much love to you all. Thank you very much, Mr. Geek Getaway, for joining me tonight. Absolute legend. And thank you for all your help working on this video as well, man. I mean, the original Amico video. I'm just doing another thing while I'm talking until I get the page open. Here is his channel. Putting it in the chat now. Go show some love. You want to know everything that's happening about the Amico? Go sign up there. There, got the link. Thanks, peeps. And Joey, thank you so much for all your help, buddy, as well.
Stay frosty. I got a channel too. You could, I'll put it there, I guess.
Oh, have you?
I'll
awesome.
put it in the chat.
Joey Freeze. Are you that like picture of like a I don't know. Is your banner a Saturn controller, an N64 controller, and a SNES controller?
That's correct. That is
go.
correct.
Right, there you go. I'll chuck that in there, and then that'll go out to both Twitch and YouTube. Go support those people. That's the voice of Tommy Tallarico, and Tony TGD is the guy that owns the shell, much to Tommy Tallarico's dismay. We're going to end it there. Thanks, guys. Really appreciate it tonight. Been a really good stream, and I'll catch you all later. Peace out.
Later.
Bye-bye.